what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Bone Apple Tea. And this week, we're switching it up kind of big time here. We actually recently did what's called Podcasters Podcast on the Working Class Nerds. It featured us, the Working Class Nerds, obviously, and the Guardian Down podcast. And we pretty much just talk about video games, life, stuff that we're doing, what it's like to start a podcast, what it's like in sort of the various ways that you can go about podcasting. And we all do it really differently. But we all, I think, learned a little bit from each other today. So it was a ton of fun. I hope you enjoy this very special episode. Without further ado, enjoy the episode.
You can watch me terribly fail at video games Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays at twitch.tv/MarcusB814.
You can watch me play video games every single Monday night at twitch.tv/NickVern51.
And you can find the both of us on Twitter. I am at MarcusB814.
And I am at Nick Vern. That's NickVern. And in this week's episode, we're switching it up big time. We're doing a super duper special episode called The Podcasters Podcast. So we have both of the hosts from the Guardian Down podcast and both of the hosts from Bone Apple Tea. So thank you very much. Welcome to the show, GATR, Hazel, Randy, and Adam. It's all podcasters all the time. So welcome to the show, everybody. And what have you been up to?
Oh, okay. Who goes first?
Yeah.
That was a lot
Go sure. Well, I mean, it's the brand new season of for Destiny 2. What's it called? What's it called, Hazel? Season of the
Haunted.
Wow.
Haunted.
Wow.
It's spooky.
That's a little gag we do. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Season of the Haunted. We're enjoying that. We're in our second week now. And the dungeon just came out, and we've been having a lot of fun. Iron Banner is out this week, and I haven't played as much as I like to, but it's been fun. Been doing a little bit of everything, just doing my bounties. Got to do my bounties.
What do you guys
Very
play
nice.
on? Just a PC community here?
I play on PS5 and PC. Hazel, you play on
PS5.
PC and
Xbox Series X and PC.
I'm only on PC.
I am also
But it's all cross-platform now, so it doesn't matter what system you play on. I think you can even play on Xbox 360.
Wow.
Oh, man.
What? 360?
I don't actually
Xbox
know.
One.
but
I
it
wouldn't
just
play with
sounded
you
awesome.
if you were playing
Xbox
on
One.
360.
it's
Xbox
cross-play and cross-save. It's great.
Yeah.
It actually plays on a Sega.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sega.
ColecoVision, don't forget.
Yeah, we have actually shit. Where is it?
What are you looking for?
You have a ColecoVision?
Yeah, he brought it
No
with him
way.
just for this. Pulls it out.
No
of his
way.
backpack. No, was it last episode? I brought up my
So
my Game Boy Color.
it also
I think I have a
plays
Game Boy
on
Advance,
Xbox
actually.
Game Pass with this thing called the
Yes.
Backbone.
Oh, yeah. I have seen one of
So
those.
you plug your phone in it and it plugs in like charges. Thing's awesome. It's not great like playing a game that requires bandwidth to play like Destiny. It's terrible.
Yep.
But believe it or not, I've been playing Minecraft Dungeons on that. When I'm taking a shit, I plug my phone in and I just play some Minecraft Dungeons. It's fantastic because it doesn't use bandwidth to like play the game. It's just you're streaming it. You know what I mean? It's a very simple game.
See, I'm not
Yeah.
usually taking a shit for that long to get into a game.
Yeah,
Bro,
dude,
you don't have
that's
kids.
pretty committed.
Listen,
Yeah, I was going to say he's
When
retreating.
if I'm taking a 20-minute shit, it's because the kids are out of control and I'm just like, gotta go.
That's fair. Okay.
Truth.
It becomes
That's
becomes escape.
That's
So
amazing.
anyway, so what else have you been doing, GATR?
I mean, I just play Destiny.
Oh, that's
Yes,
good.
That's what I do.
You're
Yeah,
consistent.
that's it. No, I've been catching up on a lot of shows. I've been watching, the new Obi-Wan. I've been watching, what's the what's it, fourth season
Stranger Things.
of Stranger Things. Yeah, it's been pretty
Yep.
good. It's off the rails. I've been watching
very
a bunch of TV, and filling in time with Destiny and then working. I mean, that's pretty much it. So yeah, saw Top Gun this week with my dad. That was pretty cool.
Whoa.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah. I saw Top Gun with my dad, too.
Did you go to the highway to the danger zone?
We did. Very
Absolutely.
nostalgic movie. And what's funny is my dad brought me to that movie when I was a kid.
Oh,
now
no
we're
way.
seeing this.
So that's awesome.
Gen.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, full circle,
Yep.
man.
That is my
amazing.
dad's
That's
favorite
me.
movie without question. He watches it almost every single night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Top Gun?
and he
Yeah,
skips the part where Goose. Yeah, he every
It's
single time. Yeah,
really
he,
good.
It's
The
just
flight
classic,
scenes
dude.
are all real. It's really good.
so good.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's,
do you
it
guys
was-
all, has everybody here seen the second one?
No.
No.
I haven't.
No,
I will,
haven't.
but I have not. But
Yeah. Need to,
the first movie was funded a lot by the Navy. I don't know if you knew that. That's just why all the flight
Really?
scenes are. Yeah.
Is that why everyone's sweating all the time?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, and there's a
Oil them
volleyball
up.
scene too.
Sweaty
Well,
80s.
kind of.
Sir, if you could please just turn on an AC.
Can't do it.
They're all
Absolutely
sweaty.
I'll do you one better.
More
You're
water.
going to Top Gun.
Yeah, damn it.
Let's jump. Randy, what have you been up to?
Well, in the podcasting world, we've been going kind of full steam on interviews. I don't know if we're doing podcast descriptions yet, but yeah, you know, the interviews have been kind of like our more popular stuff, so we're just kind of sticking to that.
Very nice.
Outside of that, just been kicking it with the acting stuff as much as I can, and all that good shit.
Marcus is
And work,
pretending.
I guess.
Yeah, and working out.
Oh, and I play and working out, of course, and then I play Elden Ring is my game of choice.
Mhm.
Nice.
So-
Wow.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
You like to be punished.
Oh, yes, Daddy. No, but
yeah, no, yeah,
but,
no lube.
but yeah, but no, dude, I fucking love Elden Ring. Elden Ring
What?
has just been, oh yeah, dude, so good. I think, like, honestly, to me, there's yet to be a game that has established the kind of combat system that they have.
Yeah,
As From Software just has that combat system so down. And you know what it is the beginning part of the game is like really tough because there's a big old learning curve. But at this point, I'm like level 120 something, and it's very,
Damn.
very fluid, and it's like you really like just nosedive into everything. And it seems like I can't beat the game. There's just a million things to do, so it's just like I don't even know. It's like a never-ending pit of time. You can't play Elden Ring for 20 minutes. It's impossible.
Elden Ring killed a lot of new games.
Oh
Big
yeah,
time. I
Yeah,
bought
big time.
Horizon, played it for like 3 days, and then Elden Ring came out. I need to go back to the Horizon for sure. But
You
Yeah,
guys think
probably
game of the year?
Yeah.
Hands down, game of the year.
100%.
I don't know how
Yeah.
it could not be.
Yeah.
You know,
And
I know
it's funny that it's popular on TikTok. Like I'll see TikToks and shit, and I'm like, really? They're making popular videos with Elden Ring, huh?
Yeah, I
well,
didn't.
because there's some of the shit in that game. Like I never played it because I would just get too mad and throw a controller. But like the some of that game, like the mechanics, like you'll be fighting the boss throughout the whole fight, and the last thing, all of a sudden they'll just start breathing fire out of nowhere, and you're like, what the fuck? And
Yeah.
it just becomes a funny video.
Yeah, it's
There's
true,
a lot of
man.
moments that are, you know, noteworthy.
Clippable.
Or clippable. That's a good word.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's definitely a lot of like, what the fuck? You know, you can do those compilations of like you're fighting a boss, everything's going great, and then a fucking like a bottomless pit you didn't notice was right behind you, and you take one step back and you're fucked. You know, it's just
or like a second one comes out of nowhere.
yeah. Second boss,
Cool.
the boss rips off its arm, and the arm becomes the sword, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty much been it. Yeah.
Very nice.
All right, Hazel, what have you been doing?
See, unlike Gator, my co-host, on Guardian Downcast, I'm gaming promiscuous. So,
Whoa.
Risque.
Whoa.
Hey, okay.
Ooh, is he playing
Hey.
Leisure Suit Larry?
no, but I did.
Wow,
back in the
that's
day.
an old reference.
Yeah, dude,
It's
that's
a deep
a.
cut.
Yeah, but wait.
The last time I
Wait.
saw that game was at a Hollywood Video Rental.
All right,
store.
yeah, but what was the last? What's
That was
the,
the remake.
what's the latest like porn style game that you can
Oh,
play?
Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator?
Come on.
That was fantastic. Especially because how quick you had that queued up.
Yeah, that's living with Adam all the
What do
time,
you
dude.
He's playing right now.
Yeah,
That's what he was doing. That's what took so long to start.
yeah, that's
So-
On
right.
his laptop, he was playing Goat Simulator.
So Hazel, what is your promiscuous games?
I beat Trek to Yomi. I think that was last.
What is
week.
that?
What is that?
It's like a bastardized version of Ghost of Tsushima.
All right,
Oh, Ghost of
Oh.
Tsushima.
So this one's all
What do you-
black and white though. It's like made.
Oh,
this way.
interesting.
come on, Jamie, pull it up.
Oh, I don't even know how to spell what he said.
Trek, yo yomi.
He said
Trek
Trek to
Japanese.
Yomi. I was like, what?
Trek, yo yomi.
Oh,
It's in black and
English
white? That's
words in there
interesting.
too. Trek to.
It's anime.
No, it's not.
So what? Oh, Trek to Yomi. Got it.
It's
I thought that was
anime
all
type
one
game.
word, and I wasn't going to
Trek
guess how to
Yomi.
spell it.
So yeah, I've been doing screenshots of this because it just looks gorgeous at certain points. So
I'm like
I got
really interested in that. Sounds like a cool art style.
it really is. And
Whoa,
I mean, they
this is
basically-
cool.
Yeah, they got the idea, and it's on Game Pass, by the way. So
Uh-huh.
Ooh,
you're
it is,
paying
okay.
for it.
Very nice.
So, but yeah, besides that, Cyberpunk, I
Oh,
bought it.
Oh,
for
is it working?
$5. Yeah, it is.
Nice.
Actually.
You bought it for $5?
Wait, that
Yeah.
game is $5.
Oh my
$5.
God.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
You can't even get FIFA 19 for $5.
Well, yeah, but that's
Dude, FIFA 2022 is just free.
On PlayStation Plus, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, nice. That's
Because it's
sweet.
basically FIFA 19.
Yeah.
Well, it's basically FIFA 12. I mean, it's all the same. They
Dude,
just
the best
add textures.
NBA game was NBA 2K13. Don't at me.
Oh yeah.
That was the best
Street
one.
Volume 2, dude. What do you mean?
Street, NBA Street.
I guess I'm fucking old because the best basketball game ever is NBA Jam.
Wow.
Ever.
For Super Nintendo? Is that what-
Yes.
very nice.
Um,
I played that in an arcade, I think.
so you beat that. What else did you play?
Well, I didn't beat Cyberpunk, but Destiny. Besides all that, so. But
Very
Nice.
nice.
What do you
Nice,
think
nice.
of the new? What do you think of the new Rift mode?
Can we do
I
a
think it's
survey?
fine.
Yeah, we did a survey, didn't we?
In our Discord. So
It is shit.
What is
I don't
that?
know. It's okay. I mean, it's
So-
got some.
so
it's got some.
It's a
bugs.
multiplayer mode.
PvP.
Yeah, it's PvP, but you have to control like a ball essentially.
Mhm.
It's terrible. It's just the worst fucking mode ever.
Is it like what's
Developers were like, "What if we combined Rocket?
It's like a
League
capture the flag.
Rocket
type.
League?
I would
and
say
then
it's
we
like a
put it
capture the
in
flag.
Destiny with
It is.
guns."
Like the
And
little
magic.
floating thing that, like, it's a Destiny thing. Is it the little floating orb that like helps you out or whatever?
That's a ghost.
Sort of,
No, it's a
sort of
ghost.
just like that. I mean, it's sort of like that. It's just. I mean, it was from Destiny 1, and it was pretty well
Okay.
received ish.
Is it like Oddball from the Halo multiplayer where you like have to control the ball for a certain amount of time?
No, it's more of basically like reverse capture the flag. So you get the flag and you have to plant it in the other team's goal.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I guess you were pretty close with the Rocket League thing.
So like soccer.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
So like soccer.
So like
Kinda sweet.
soccer. Nice.
Except you can't pass
Fair
it,
enough.
which sucks.
Football. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
No, I kind of like it.
That's cool.
Very nice. Very nice.
So Adam, first time on the show. Thanks for coming.
Hell
And-
yeah.
And
First time
what
caller,
have
long
you been
time
up
listener.
to?
What's going on?
Oh
I've been
my God.
just living life, man. Working a lot. Working out. Cooking. I like to cook. Playing a lot of Elden Ring. Getting super frustrated. I'm kind of a sadist with video games. Like I always have to make it as like hard as possible. So like
Yeah.
it's always on like extra hard mode, and I always like whatever you can equip stuff in that game that makes it so that you take more damage. But like it's good, you know, because like it's supposed to increase your damage output, and I like to be like super high risk with it, which usually leads me to just being like incredibly frustrated.
Yeah.
Um,
It's great.
but
I
also,
remember, hold up. I want to sidebar here. I remember when we first got Elden Ring, you find these things called golden seeds and sacred tears that like essentially upgrade your ability to heal yourself and stuff. And he had like a shit ton of this stuff. And I was like,
Okay.
dude, just go to the grace and like, you know, use it so that you actually can have what you found. He's like, nah, dude. And I'm like, gee, I'm like, no, dude, like you found it. Like the whole point is to find it and use it,
I
dude.
just-
Like, what are you doing?
I just like collecting stuff, and like I started the game as a wretch, which is basically like no armor, like nothing. You're just naked
6
and you have a
hours
club.
he had a club, dude, and he was naked,
Dude, and
for
so
6 hours of that game.
I literally spent the first like large chunk of the game just running around in a bunch of areas where like I had no business being, like just like high level areas, just picking up items that I couldn't even use yet, and just like running around clubbing people. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was really funny.
But and it was just like it's kind of fun to just like dip in and like roll out, and you know what I mean, and like I'm just naked running around.
Yeah, it was definitely really funny to watch. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
And so I've been playing a ton of that, but I don't know if any of you guys played the game Sekiro. It was kind of like the game before this.
Yeah.
But that's probably one of my favorite games like of all time. I thought it's like, I mean, it's the same mechanics as a From Software game. It's actually funny because a lot of the animations in Elden Ring,
Yeah, they're very
you
similar.
can tell are from
Yeah.
like from the game. But I
Mhm.
thought the story in that was great. And then like the fact that every boss has like, you know, you can backstab every boss at least once, and you kind of just have to like figure out how you can get away with it. But yeah, I mean, I like From Software games a lot. But besides,
Did you ever
that,
play
like,
Jedi Fallen Order?
yeah, actually,
Yeah. I
Did you
have
play that on the hardest difficulty?
yeah, we did because we just
We
came off
did?
of playing Yeah, we did. I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm pretty sure I put that on just regular hard mode.
Oh,
Which
wait,
was
was
pretty
there,
hard
like,
for
a
me. frankly.
Yeah, that was I beat it on just whatever hard, just normal hard. Because like I think in order to unlock the hardest level, you have to
beat it.
You have to beat it in hard. And after I beat it once, I was like, I'm good.
What was that?
I don't know what that was.
What were you gonna say, Gator? I don't know if you.
No, I said I'm not playing it on extra hard mode. I got through the second world
on extra hard mode for
no on regular. I just want to play the story. I just want to see the story.
Yeah,
well, Marcus put stuff like that on actual easy mode.
Oh, hell yeah! Easy. I did normal.
Yeah.
I did not.
Normal is good. I feel like normal is the right amount of like adjusted difficulty, and because like I don't want to feel like I'm super super powerful. I do want to kind of work for my wins at least a little bit.
Not me.
Yeah.
Listen, if I'm not playing my, I'm gonna give you a quote. Like if I'm not playing my game, whatever that game may be, Destiny, Star Wars, whatever. Like, and I'm trying to play a game for a story. I'm putting it on easy because I want to enjoy it. I don't give a fuck if it's like I don't need a challenge. I'm only playing it for the story.
Yep. Right.
Like,
and
I
Star
feel
Wars
like
game has a decent
cheating.
one. So
Right, and like I don't want to cheat and put and just go to YouTube and watch all the cutscenes. Like I want to play it so I can experience it.
You're right.
But I'm okay with putting a game on easy because I don't want to I get frustrated enough at my main games. I don't want to get I don't want to be frustrated playing my side game.
Yeah, your side piece.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, side piece.
Yeah. I totally get that. Also, the fact that they announced Jedi Survivor, I'm pretty psyched about that too, man.
Yeah. Who do you think's the guy in the floating floating liquid? I feel like we have to have a discussion about this.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I was in vacation mode and didn't watch the trailer yet.
Suck less.
I will watch that at the break.
Suck less.
Yeah,
I don't know who it is. It's a female. It looks like a female to me.
You think so?
Really?
Yeah.
Please hold.
Don't they show the whole
Nick's
body?
input.
Isn't he shirtless in the back?
This
tank?
looks. It looks like there's a long.
It is 2022. Hashtag free the nipple, but
But I guess this is a long time ago.
Yeah, in a galaxy,
far away.
So
I think so. Speculation on our end was that it's that fucking guy from
like Ram Koda or something.
Yeah, Ram Koda from the Force Unleashed.
Looks like a girl, dude.
No, it's a guy. This is clearly a non-developed breast. That's a pectoral, sir.
You don't know.
Hashtag no offense to all the A cups out there.
Yeah. No. He's just maybe she's just
no,
flat.
but like the difference.
Nick.
Like there's something
right.
It's way different being
there's
like
pectoral tissue and then there's breast tissue.
As a female anatomy expert, I will say
right. That's right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, Nick's actually mad smart with it. So
well, as a virgin,
I trust
I can tell you that that's definitely
as a virgin,
not a female.
That's great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, I know that's not true. We were roommates, so. I don't care. I can go first. You can go first. I have a lot of stuff to talk about, so you go first.
Okay.
Marcus, what have you been up to this week?
I had an awesome weekend away with the family for Memorial Day, and so I rented a boat. It was a 20-foot pontoon boat.
You don't strike me as a boat guy.
Why? Because I'm fat.
That's a good chunk of.
Sorry, had to.
No, I'm not really a boat guy, but I wanted to do something fun with the kids. Why not? So we rented this boat and we cruised around this salt pond. And I'm thinking, like, me as a kid, like my uncles had a boat, we had a boat, and like we would just jump off into the water. Well, little did I know, salt ponds are a breeding ground for jellyfish because the water's warm. It's shallow water, and there were fucking jellyfish everywhere, and they weren't small. They were like Portuguese man of war size with like big red eyes and big red tentacles. And I'm like, this fucking blows. You can't even swim in this place.
Yeah, well.
Oh, what the?
So you jumped in? Did you just get covered in jellyfish? Like,
no, I did not jump in. So I ended up.
He let his kids jump in.
No. So we parked over on the backside of the ocean because it attaches to the ocean, and we walked across like where I drive my 4x4 truck to go to the beach. But like we went to the beach, hung out. The kids fucking loved it. They'd never been on a boat before, other than like a ferry, and it was really nice to be able to just have 3 days off in a row. You know what I mean? Because I work 6 days a week, so getting a 3-day weekend was fantastic.
Yeah.
But I will say this, by the end of the weekend, I was fucking pooped.
Yeah, that's
Like
my story too.
3 days of my kids jumping all over me and destroying me. It fucking whooped.
Sounds relaxing.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
This is good birth control.
Yeah, so
yeah, seriously.
a couple things. So what happened on vacation, I tried to play Destiny and do the new dungeon. Well, I started it. I clearly wasn't good enough, so I didn't get to clear it. I killed the first 2 bosses. So then I was like to my friends, my fire team, I was like, oh, we'll do it Saturday. And my piece of shit laptop
That you're currently
GPU,
reading
yeah,
the
that I'm
notes
on right now. My GPU basically said, fuck you, Marcus. We're not playing games. I went from the last time I played Destiny on my laptop, I was getting like 120 frames a second. I had 2.
Jesus.
So I
Oh,
updated
wow.
everything.
Playable.
Everything was going fine. I loaded in the game. It was showing 120. I was like, great, it's going to work. As soon as I got into the game, 2 frames to 15 frames, it was just in my computer, my laptop, sounded like it was
A jet plane?
Yeah, jet plane ready to fucking explode. And I'm like, fuck.
Damn.
So
is that
I
why
shut it
your
off.
video's not working right now?
That was my question.
What video?
That's what we're asking.
Yeah. Yeah, your video freezes your audio is
that's
great
Nick's.
for you.
Yeah,
That's-
that's Nick's camera. That's
Well,
Nick's
so that-
bullshit fucking 100 meg internet. Like
200 meg. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's his internet connection.
It's usually
not-
just me, and usually we only record the audio, not the video. So,
Oh, sorry guys.
yeah, it with Zencaster, it prioritizes the audio quality over the video quality. So it'll
Oh, there
as
you
the-
are. You're
as the-
back.
as the bandwidth dips in and out or whatever, it'll cut the audio video quality.
the bandwidth is so when they hear his voice, they make it clear, but when it's me, they want to just freeze it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like
that's
nobody
right.
wants to see his fucking animations. Anyway, so I'm on a hunt for a new laptop. I'm really torn because I found a laptop that has a 3090 in it,
Okay.
and I really want it, but I know it's a complete waste of fucking money because I only use a laptop to game maybe 15 times a year.
Yeah. Plus, what does this have in it?
Okay,
A
sounds ROI negative.
1660 Ti.
Oh, there's your first mistake.
Yeah, this thing's a piece of shit. Fuck this.
I mean, it was a piece of shit when you bought it.
yes, it's fuck this thing. I'm not. I agree with you. So I'm on a new. Yeah, exactly. I'm on a new laptop hunt. They announced Spider-Man for the PC.
Yep.
I think Sony needs to wake up and realize like they're not hurting their sales if they put their games on PC on day one. Like people
I don't
will
really
buy the
understand.
fucking game day one and
Yeah.
have it go on PlayStation as well, and they'll still make money. I don't understand it anymore in 2022 why you can't just release your games
On PC.
on
They must
PC.
just be trying to sell consoles.
Yeah.
But they lose money on the consoles. Like it's
Yeah.
not like there's a huge profit margin on the consoles.
Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I
'cause
don't
you kind
get
of
it
have to
either.
like actually have them in stock in order to sell them and make money.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
So somebody I know that's in the industry said it's a hoax. There are more PlayStation 5s than they know what to do with. They're purposely doing this to create a lifespan of the console that'll last longer and create more demand.
Wow.
It has nothing to do with chips, has nothing to do with anything now. It's all about Sony being greedy.
That's
Wow.
wild.
Working class nerds, get ready to put on your tinfoil
But
hat.
doesn't
this is-
Xbox also have a supply? Like
I
I feel
love
like
this.
every
No,
next
no,
gen
not
console
Xbox
is
Series
like,
X, you can buy that anywhere you want now.
really?
Wow.
Yeah, they
wow.
when
have to
when
buy one.
Sony said that they were going to slow down production, Xbox is like, "Fuck you, we're going to make a shit ton of systems." So you
Oh,
can
wow.
pretty much get a Series X. Maybe not every second of every day, but like every day they release some.
Okay.
If you go to Amazon now, I'm sure you can still buy
I was gonna
one.
say
I'm not
'cause
sure.
maybe it's because it was the end of the day, but I was looking on Amazon yesterday. But like if they're doing like a daily thing, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can definitely get. I know we were talking about this like a few months
Yeah.
ago, and you could get an Xbox no problem, but then like you couldn't get a PS4 if you tried for several weeks.
I really want to see the new Top Gun movie. Because it's nostalgic to me as a kid. Like it came out when I was a little kid. I didn't see it then, but like I feel like that sums up my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
There's so many moments in our life or my life where it's always like danger zone. and it just makes you think of that movie. You know
Of
what I mean?
course.
Hey, Marcus,
Dude,
Yeah.
it was yeah.
they had the original bike from the original Top Gun movie in the movie, and he rode it. The old Kawasaki. What was it, Yamaha? Kawasaki.
Yeah. Dude, it was exactly like what it needed to be. Like I was so worried because you never know with these, with those movies
Sequels
and
and
they throw
shit,
sequels
yeah.
in and shit. But it was like I feel like it was like the perfect mix of like nostalgia and then like new shit but then just the way everything was filmed, it was dope.
Like you can say what you want about Tom Cruise and the crazy Scientology stuff, like that's whatever, right? But Tom Cruise might be the last real actor we actually have.
Like action actor, you mean?
Like just pure actor. Like that dude does all of his own stunts, everything himself.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that dude
he's a pilot.
hasn't
He's literally
aged.
a pilot.
And that dude hasn't aged at all. He still looks better than I did when I was 13, and he's like 70.
Right.
You guys know he created a simulator program just so all the actors could learn how to fly in an F-17 or whatever it was.
Really?
Yeah, they did a
Created his own program.
bunch of
Training.
stuff. They
Training
did a
already.
bunch of stuff. They did like underwater training. They did like
Because they had to pull G's. He said everybody was basically like, yeah, we were throwing up like all the time.
Yeah, they were. There's like this quote. There's a quote from like one of the main guys. I forget his name, but he said like, "What Tom Cruise does for fun is what is other people's hell." Essentially,
Yeah.
and I can only imagine.
You guys saw the movie?
I have not yet. Adam
I saw
has.
it, yeah.
Did you
Adam
get
has.
the message from Tom Cruise at the beginning too?
Yeah, where it was like,
I thought
thanks
that was
for...
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely appreciated. I don't know, it kind of got me excited to see the movie because I was like, oh,
It
hell yeah,
did.
this is like a
Hey
big thing.
guys.
It was pretty long too. It was like over 2 hours, right? I think it was over 2 hours.
Yeah, it was good 2
Okay.
hours. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sweet.
that's nice. I definitely gotta go
Always-
see it.
Yeah, me too. Been watching Obi-Wan. It's good.
Mhm.
I like the nostalgia. I wouldn't say it's great yet.
Yeah.
It's just not
Dude,
perfect.
so
It's
can
just
we
not
talk
perfect.
about, like-
Wait. It is perfect. Like the moments in that show are perfect.
Mm.
But like the show as a whole show, it's still like not great.
Well, there's just
Yeah.
moments that take you
Dude,
out of it,
yeah.
dude. There's
Like-
like the 10-year-old
The
chase.
chase scene, dude, in the woods.
That's
Oh
gotta
my
go.
God.
Someone should have saw that. No showrunner was like, "Yep, this can happen. This is
Yeah.
a thing." And then
We're
and then
chasing
the
a toddler around.
yeah, and then the other. I'm assuming everyone's all caught up, right?
Yeah, hold on.
Um,
Before we go into too many spoilers.
Yeah.
I haven't
So
watched it, but I don't
Spoilers!
care.
okay, so he doesn't care. Okay, so there's this part at the end of the third episode where like Darth Vader, he drags Obi-Wan through the fire.
Dude,
Thank
And
you.
That's cool. I don't mind. All that's pretty cool. But
Fucking
then
hated
all of a
that.
sudden, then they like shoot a fire, and the fire's 3 inches higher, and he's like,
fuck it.
Well,
damn it.
can't cross this anymore.
"Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Never mind
like,
me being able to like force jump over buildings.
Wait a minute.
yeah.
He's fucking toying with him.
Yeah,
He's
that was gonna be
allowing
the
him
thing,
to
and-
leave
yeah.
because he's going to come and make him suffer. He's going to let him go off and think he's safe, and Obi-Wan is going to be scared, burnt, and pit. Like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
Yeah,
it's
that was
all
my-
a fear technique. Like,
yeah, but
it's-
I need a line to tell me that or something. It's not that
Yeah,
clear.
like some sort of I
Something
agree
be
with you,
like,
Nick.
"Obi-Wan,
Like one
I'll
line.
See you soon. Like,
It's like,
Yeah.
you'll
Obi-Wan.
continue to suffer something. Like
I'll be
Yeah,
back. Like, come on,
I'll
dude. You don't fucking need that.
I'll
Oh,
enjoy
well,
feeding
I
off your
feel like-
fear or something. I don't know.
I felt like they were leaving. They were like, there was too much of like us filling in the blanks. Like it was too like, what the fuck? Because I saw that too, and I was like,
Right.
really?
Yeah.
The fire is like a little bit larger.
Yeah.
and
And,
also,
you got-
like,
you
there's
got
a
40
just
soldiers.
walk, and also walk like 10 feet to the right and just walk
That's what I mean,
around it.
Walk around it.
Yeah.
Walk around it. It wasn't even like, and then this slow ass robot picks him up, and they're like, shit, man.
Yeah.
They got
Well,
him.
he's gone.
Yeah.
We just turned the whole galaxy upside down. I've been killing people left and right for this guy, and you know what? Fuck it. Like,
Yeah, but I think I do
Can't deal
agree
with
with
fire.
I do agree with Marcus here is that like I think it is supposed to be like a yeah, go ahead, go back, train up. I want to fight you at your best, and also like fear tactic a bit.
I did love
Yeah.
the fact that like because they'd never the whole thing where he finds out that he's still alive because you kind of just assume that I don't know it cuts to the fourth one, right? And it's like, oh yeah, he knows he's Darth Vader, but
Right.
I kind of forgot that like he thinks that he killed him, and then
Right.
there's that whole thing where he like finds out. Like I thought that was really cool that
Yeah,
they
me
threw that
too.
in there because that was like major fan service. I don't know, at least for me.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, shit, that's right.
Yeah, and also
that he
Ian
didn't
McGregor continues to kill it as always.
Oh, yeah.
he keeps me going through every moment that I'm like about. I'm still loving it.
Agreed.
How much
I
money do you
like the-
think
Oh, go ahead.
how much money do you think he got paid to play Obi-Wan again?
Oh,
A
let's
lot?
check it. Let's check it. That's a
Isn't he
fact.
got the money?
We can stat check that one.
Really?
That's public knowledge.
Yeah, you can check
Sure,
that.
it is.
Dude,
Oh.
the one thing
yeah.
about Kid Leia too is like when some of like the first lines when she first started talking, she was like, you know, somebody would say something to her and she'd be like, yeah, you probably feel that way because you were abused as a child. And so that created a dependent. I'm like, dude, how fucking old is this kid? Just all psychologically analyzing.
so
like,
That's
but-
explained, but it's not explained in the show.
Well,
right?
yeah. So if you read all the books, so from a kid, she was always a sassy, smart kid that like was super witty. So she's like playing the character perfectly.
Her force ability is that like she can read people, is like people's intentions and emotions and stuff. That's her like her shtick. But like that's not explained in the show. But
that was the one I was like, yeah. Sorry.
That's why Obi-Wan is like, how old are you? And you're like, 10.
Yeah,
You don't sound like you're 10.
When he said that
playing
line,
for
I was
that.
like, okay, thank you. Somebody is acknowledging the fact that like this is ridiculous because she was saying all these things. I'm like, dude, I'm 27 and I couldn't string that sentence together. Okay, like
exactly.
But either way,
the show's. I think it's good. Good, not great. I think I would say. Your assessment.
I am not going to complain.
No,
because you know why?
It could be Halo.
It's like everybody has always wanted Obi-Wan Kenobi. Everybody has wanted Hayden to come back or Darth Vader. Like we're getting real Star Wars right now.
Yeah,
I am not complaining.
No,
and by the end of this show, it's going to be great.
I think I hope so.
Yeah, 100%. Because everything it'll all tie into Episode 4 later or Rogue One or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's going to be good. The last thing for me,
I loved it too. I agree. I think it's just like cool seeing Obi-Wan on the screen again. Like fucking Obi-Wan's the man. Ewan McGregor's great. Hayden Christensen, you know, it's just like it's crazy that we're actually getting to see this.
Sorry guys, I actually couldn't find that information about how much he made for it. Maybe it's not as public as I thought. Usually that stuff gets released, but maybe not. Maybe they didn't want to, just in case like someone got paid less for some reason or whatever. But
maybe Obi-Wan is getting paid $100 million to do it.
Yeah, I'd imagine Hayden Christensen is getting paid a ton also.
Yes, of course he is, because the fucking fans hated him. Anyway, last thing is, so everybody who's been watching the stream, thank you so much. You guys are fucking awesome. And I'm going to start doing some more solo stuff to become a better player in Destiny, because I feel like I'm a crutch, but I don't know if that's because of the new season and I'm not built right.
Are you using the solar abilities?
Yes, but like I was getting demolished in this new dungeon, and like it was, I don't want to say it was ego breaking, but it was like, it just broke me. Like literally, like we out of our fire team, one person was dying way more than me. They were a warlock, and like, but I was surviving some, but like as soon as I jumped off a platform in the final boss and there were so many ads, I was just getting annihilated. Like, and at one point, you guys all know this, a game, even if you're frustrated with a game, at what point does it go from being frustrated to like you're not having fun anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give an example. Elden, you're going into Elden Ring knowing that you're going to be, but when you play Elden Ring, you're going to be naked with a club for 6 hours and you're going to die, right? You're going to die and it's going to suck, but that's the purpose of the game. Like everything that I've ever played in Destiny has been hard, but it's never been so hard that like I was beyond frustrated. You know what I mean? Even when I did a Grandmaster Nightfall, we didn't clear it. I was still having fun because I still knew that I could win. This dungeon was not fun at all. Like that final boss fight, there was nothing fun about it. And like I've been waiting to have this conversation about it because Hazel is here. Yeah. And because on Hazel's podcast, he's always like, this game is too fucking easy. It needs to be harder. We need a harder game. We need a harder game. It needs to be like Grandmaster, needs to be the starting point of difficulty. But I'm going to say that's bullshit, because guys like me who aren't as good as you or somebody else, it like that dungeon, I don't know about you guys, but that fucking dungeon was hard as fuck for me. And like, if you tell me, Marcus, we breezed through it, it was fucking simple, then maybe I just need to suck less.
Well, you definitely need to suck less.
And now I need
As
to
they
take
say
a
in the
breath.
gaming community, get good, right?
Yeah,
That's
get
I'm,
good.
I'm,
Good
I'm
scrub.
in a
It's
I'm
like
in a
Smash
few
Bros thing.
I'm in a few like Elden Ring like Facebook groups, and that's pretty much like someone will complain about a boss, and it's just like get good, like not even spelling it out, just like GIT,
G-U-D.
yeah, GUD, yeah.
I'll let Gator start with his reply.
I'm excited.
Well,
for this.
okay.
Yeah.
I soloed it to the first boss, and just because I want to check it out the day of.
Yeah.
And you have to really crutch on your abilities when you go in this dungeon. I like Void 3.0. I think Solar 3.0 sucks. Sorry, I don't like
That's
it.
fine. Yeah.
I like-
I've
I
been
like
a Void
Void
lock. I've been a Void lock warlock for a long time,
Mhm.
and I know those. I've honed my craft when it comes to abilities and using the supers and grenades in the right way. And the thing about the Void 3.0 is Devour. It keeps you alive all the time. You kill anything with a grenade, you're alive. So you can
That's
have
true.
a ton of ads in those rooms, but if you're melting stuff with grenades and you're shooting stuff, you're always alive. You have rifts that keep you alive. You have bubbles you can use if you want. But Hazel went further than me. I was gonna play this Friday, and a buddy of mine, his wife had to go to the hospital, so we had to call it that night. But I've yet to play through the whole thing. But I know Hazel has. He's gotten a completion.
Yeah. I've got
But
two
I will tell you,
completions.
I've heard there's a lot of ads in the last room, and that's what everybody's getting hung up on. But there's ways you can get around it. Hazel, let you finish it.
Yeah. So, I went in first time through, made it to the first boss, and did some damage to him, and then I got wiped off the face of the planet. Then I went in again. I did an LFG. So, I mean,
Let's
just
fucking go.
pretty much exactly.
Yeah.
And so three of us had no idea what we were walking. Well, I knew what I was walking into up to the first part, and then after that, I mean, we made it to the final boss in maybe about an hour and a half, and then about
Okay.
4 hours later, we beat it.
Sure.
Oh my god.
4
So-
hours,
Right.
Yes.
So you agree with me.
For one fight or to respawn?
Just
at
the final boss.
just the
Hey,
final
but you know
boss.
what? It's not hard enough, though. It's not hard enough.
No, it's not.
Let the world
actually.
burn.
It's not actually. Now, here's the thing. Okay.
Wow.
So how Gator said he crutches on Void and Devour, that perk.
Yeah.
So in Solar, there's something called Restoration, which is basically Devour on crack, where basically your health regenerates consistently no matter what. You stub your toe, you get health regen right away.
Huh.
And it's just consistent for about 7 seconds. And you can get 2 stacks of that, which makes it like 12 seconds. And you can keep proccing this over and over again, which is what I kept doing on my Titan. I just kept throwing hammers at everything. I had restoration through the entire thing, and I think I had the fewest deaths the entire time.
We'll need to test that
This-
theory.
Well, yeah. So that is continuing my thought on how I'm pretty much going to be streaming a lot of solo stuff and doing new harder content solo, like the legendary lost sectors and stuff, because I'm
Oh, yeah.
terrible at the game. But like to learn how to play the class better, because I was not having fun in that dungeon at the end.
Yeah.
Like the second boss, I think we played it for like 2 or 3 hours and we cleared it. But it was, or maybe it was the first boss. I can't remember, but maybe it was the first boss that took us a couple hours to clear. But like the last boss was just, it got to a point where it wasn't fun. And then somebody said to me that like, I don't play the game enough. I don't understand the game enough. Like, that's why you're dying. And I'm like, well, every other dungeon I've ever done, even the one that came before this, which was Grasp, I did not like, we cleared that the first night. Like it was doable.
Mhm.
And I feel like Bungie took a step in like BioWare's direction with Star Wars The Old Republic's Gods from the Machine raid. They made it really hard to appease the better players because the new dungeon is not for new players, right? Like if you're just getting there, like 3 new players are not going to clear that right away.
No,
Like
they aren't.
You're not a chance. You need to be experienced like Hazel, who wants the content super hard, because that final boss was tough. And how I know that is it took him 4 hours to clear the final boss, and he's a pro. He podcasts while doing the hardest content
He does.
in the game. Yes, he does.
Well, not a dungeon, but a grandmaster he did.
Right, but
Wow.
he does the hardest content in the game while podcasting and does it flawlessly.
No. Yeah. Let's keep in mind, I keep the show on the tracks.
Yes, of course you do. Yeah,
Someone has to.
yeah.
we are talking about the guy who didn't know that the show had show notes until 3 months in.
You're right, exactly.
Playing
So-
the game. I'm sorry.
I wanted to answer that, Marcus, because I know you're struggling right now. One thing that Bungie has done ever since Beyond Light, which was the big DLC last year, they have
2 years
pivoted
ago.
for build crafting big time. And I'm a PvP player. I play a lot of Crucible. And I've always loved playing PvP because playing another human being is always going to be the best level of playing anything because you never know. Every game's going to be different. But what I'm finding out, Marcus, and this is why I played a lot of PvE last season and this season, is the build crafting. Once you learn how all these fragments and aspects and fragments are so catalytic and they work together, you are going to be amazed at how easy stuff gets for you. So if you have not done that and researched all the aspects and fragments and all the different builds, there's probably 5 or 6 different builds in Void, and there's probably what, Hazel, 8 builds for Solar right now. Just go to YouTube.
No, there's not even. I mean, Solar. I mean, okay, so there's a guy, YouTuber. His name is Mactix, and he basically said he's not going to do any videos when it comes to Solar because he doesn't like Solar because it's not about builds. It's basically it's all one build and then just tweaking it a little bit here and there, but it's all just one build, and it all revolves around restoration and not dying. And he's like, he's like, I'm going to be more towards Void and Arc because that's just what they're going, what's probably going to happen with Arc.
I have
I'm trying to find this.
I have a solo build. I have a build for solo PvE and Void. I have a harder content build for PvE Void. I've got a solar build for PvE just general. I've got a solar build for PvP and a Void build for PvP. I have 5 different builds in Destiny Item Manager right now, which is kind of like an online support. Where you can switch out and put stuff together really quick. It's a godsend for Destiny players. If you don't know about Destiny Item Manager, you need to check that out. It is the best. You can get it as a Chrome extension. In fact, I've got it pulled up right now. It's really nice.
Dim? Are you talking about Dim?
Yeah, Dim.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is I'm just going into this for all of you, right? I find that like as much as I love the game, it's really hard for me to have the extra time to be able to invest in learning all this stuff. And I know you have to, but like, let's say, I don't know about you guys. Like I have 3 dedicated nights a week for gaming because I stream those 3 nights.
Yeah.
Then I podcast 1 night. So that's 4 nights a week that's dedicated to gaming and podcasting.
Yeah.
Everything else is just a bonus, right?
Yep.
I don't have the time to really learn all this stuff, or I feel like it'll take away from my time. You know what I mean? Because unless I'm watching, if I watch a YouTube video while I'm taking a shit, as an example,
Yeah.
like by the time it's time to play the game, I've already forgotten what to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So my question to you guys, and I'm going to start with you, Nick, on this because I'm curious.
Okay.
If you have to invest outside game time to learn the game, will you do that?
Depends. Largely, no. Depends on the game. Like if it's, for example, a game that I like super sunk into, like Horizon Zero Dawn when I was streaming it, yes, I will do that. I will look up guides on how to
game.
play it. Unbelievable. I never played it back in the day. I played it on PS4. I played it as my first stream game when I started streaming on PC.
Oh, because they released it on the PC.
Yeah, right as I was finding a stream game. So it was that was unbelievable. So like I went out of my way to find like, okay, what's the better builds? How do you kill these types of machines? Like how do you go and do that stuff? But you have to really love a game to go out of your way to do something like that. But something that I'm not super invested in, no, I won't do that,
Right.
Because it's that outside of, stream or podcast, that outside extra time is like super valuable for other stuff.
Right. What about all
what
you?
if? What if?
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So for me, like, I guess I'll just talk about Elden Ring just because it's what I'm playing, but that's a very complex game where you have like you have your main components, whether that's like Vigor, Mind, Dex, Arcane, all these sort of various things. And then there's the sub levels of those things where, like, for example, Arcane, the more you get that up, not only can you do more Arcane based spells, but you can also find more items just because your Arcane's higher. And like, if you have a higher endurance, it helps with your ability to just block attacks and take less endurance and stuff like that. And strength, it's like all these things. There's all these like woven in properties. Now, I've maybe watched like a few YouTube videos, like, but that's really it. I just kind of am like, I heard like once or twice, like, oh, like if you get your mind up, it also helps with this. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But I'm trying to think of like if there's ever been a time where I've really put in a lot of research and dedication to like learning the components of the game. And I think that's about it. Like I'll watch a few YouTube videos and just try to base everything off of that.
Do you ever do that for like any of the Bethesda games like Skyrim or Fallout? I did for Fallout. I've looked up stuff for that a lot. New Vegas and 4.
Sometimes like
too.
Here's when I'll look stuff up. If I think I'm spending too long in a dungeon and there's something silly that I can't seem to figure out, and I'm just like, all right, like what the fuck am I like? I'm wasting time of my life at this point. Like, what's the secret here? I'll look
up
that
like on stream this week.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'll look up like a little quick YouTube video, be like, oh, I missed the lever. Okay, but I try not to do like a full through guide where I like completely spoil everything. But like if there's just something that's hanging me up for 45 minutes, I'm like, all right, like where is this thing? But that's probably about it. I feel like I will say though, I wish I had watched a few videos prior to jumping into Elden Ring because I had no idea what I was getting into. And like I chose like a hero class, but I didn't realize that I should have chosen the other guy that has like the faith build stuff because I wanted to be a paladin, but I didn't know any of this stuff. So I was just
like character build related stuff. I'll almost always look up, but like before I spend any skill points, anything like I spent like 6 hours naked and I didn't spend any of my skill points because I was like, all right, now I got a bunch, but I need to figure out what to spend it on. I don't know what the fuck anything is.
Yeah.
But like anything that's like puzzle based or like hidden story, anything, I like refuse to look that shit up because like I just want to figure it out. And so and like whenever I play those games, like I absolutely comb the hell out of the maps. So like I will like find everything. I just kind of like collecting, special items, shit like that. But like character build stuff, like I hate like thinking like shit, I should have spent that on something else, and you go too far down something and you're like, well, now I got to respec or something.
Yeah.
But you can do in a lot of these games. But like World of Warcraft, for example, like I picked a character and I was like, all right, well, what's like the meta for this character build? You know what I mean? So like I went down and read a bunch about it, and it's like, well, I want to play like this and whatever, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you guys?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Hazel, Gator.
Hazel?
I don't really watch too many videos because that's the thing with Destiny. There's like different tiers of player. So there's like your introductory player who just goes in, shoots aliens, doesn't do bounty or maybe does bounties, whatever, just the surface type stuff. And then there's another level of player that will go ahead and like do some build crafting, things like that. And then there's like another level of player even that's like watches videos all the time. They're in PvP. I mean, I'm willing to say that PvP player is the one who's like doing like the grinding for like the top tier gear and everything like that. And it's more about like tempering your expectations. Are you having fun in the game outside of the dungeon and build crafting and not doing build crafting? Then that's fine. Enjoy the game for what it is. I mean, Gator and we had a show recently where we had on like 2 very different people.
It was amazing, actually.
It was.
Lana and Kingsley Mac.
Yeah.
That was a great show. And I got to give props to Hazel. He's the one who set that up.
Yeah, we did a show like that a long time ago, and it was with Kogus and this other Nightmare Raider, and it was Glitch. It was a long time ago.
I was gonna say, I don't even.
And they were like,
that.
They weren't screaming at each other, but like
there
the
was
disagreement and tension in it, like it was borderline like the most toxic episode ever. But it was
I
like,
on for that one?
Yes, you were here, and you were like. You were holding up your gloves. We were in my old basement recording.
Oh, on the folding table.
Yeah. But
Way back.
I guess for me, it's like if I want to take that next step up in the game, I'm gonna have to learn how to do it better. You know what I mean? And until I do, I'm just gonna end up being just a casual full-time player.
Right. Yeah.
You know? And I will say though, I did find a new aspect of the game that I'm really enjoying.
Gambit.
It's called bounties. And
Gator, have you heard of that ever?
And so these are like daily quests that you to get 100 kills with this type of gun and you get things towards your season pass, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm finding that I'm enjoying Gambit a lot more because of the bounties. You know what I mean? And Gambit is
That's the PvP.
It's a PvE and PvP.
Okay.
So it's a PvE match, but you can invade the other team's side, which makes it PvP.
Oh yeah,
It's a really fun mode. I don't like all the changes, but
I think we played that on Mandatory Fun Night one
yes,
time, right?
and the
Mandatory fun night.
Yeah, you'll hear about it. Don't worry.
Oh yeah. So it's what I'm saying is the it just adds to the game. And like some of the bounties I refuse to get because like a bounty that has like the glaive, I'm not using the fucking glaive. It's the dumbest weapon in the game.
What do you mean? I like the glaive.
It's the dumbest fucking weapon.
Okay,
in the
let me
game.
describe this to you. It's a like a pole staff, right? That's also a giant cannon with a shield.
Yeah.
I like just shooting.
I haven't
things.
played Destiny.
The engineering
in so
behind
long,
that
but I'm
sounds
pretty
like-
sure
Bro,
I know
it's
what you're
so
talking
good.
about.
When I tell you it's so good, like I am hooked. And maybe it's because I got burnt out on Star Wars and like I just found it, but like it gives you all the feels of Call of Duty and World of Warcraft or Star Wars. Any MMO you play,
It's a
It
first
gives
person
you-
shooter
right.
MMO, which is crazy.
I had a blast, especially because like the thing is I don't have people like to play with regularly is the thing. Is like I had a group of people when I bought Destiny 2 originally. And like I don't know, the first Destiny when I bought it, like when it first came out, I got all these shitty reviews and then I waited like 2 years and bought it for like $5 and it was amazing. And they had added so much shit to it by that point that it was a great game, but like, you know, it's like past the whole like hump where people were like, oh man, this is like, I don't know how Cyberpunk is now, but I'm sure at some point it's going to get to a point where it's like Cyberpunk's amazing, but everybody just thinks it sucks because of the first like few months.
Few
you know
months.
what I mean?
No Man's Sky is very much like that.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky has had so many updates to it that like apparently it's actually fantastic now.
and it's free. Like the devs had made so much money that they're just updating the game for free.
Oh,
Because
wow.
every time they do an update, they're selling more copies.
Wow.
The game is incredible, and they have yet to charge more for a DLC.
Wow.
Do you think Starfield is essentially Bethesda's stab at trying to be No Man's Sky? Like, do you think that's kind of what they're going to go for when you go to turn
No.
that game on? So what do you think Starfield's going to be? Also, we should be getting something June 12th, right? Because that's the Bethesda Xbox showcase.
Yes.
So hopefully some gameplay there.
There better be. The hell.
Yeah.
Sony plays coming out soon too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The
Yeah, the God of War
what I
teaser.
would say is what did they say? They said Starlink is Skyrim in the sky, in space.
Right. So do you think that'll be multiplanetary or just one giant planet?
Oh no, it's going to be multiplanetary.
it's
You're
probably
going to be getting on a ship and going from planet to planet.
Right.
It's
so
got to be at least like what was that game from
The
Outer Worlds?
The Outer Worlds, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably
That's
gonna
what I
be
was
at least
say.
something
That's
like
what I'm
that.
thinking it's going to be too.
okay.
But here's the let's get tinfoil hattie.
I love it.
Do you guys
we
think
never do that here. I don't know.
do you
what you're
guys
talking
think
about.
Starlink is going to be exclusive to Xbox and PC?
Oh, Starfield?
You must
so
Starfield?
Starfield,
yeah.
that's what I meant.
So
Starlink,
Starlink
is
is-
in your
Starlink.
car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Starlink.
That's on Star.
Oh wait, that's no, Starlink. Starlink is the Tesla internet from the space.
Yes,
There we go.
There we
There
go.
that is.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
Star Blazers is the 80s anime that was
Yeah. Okay.
also very good.
So many
But-
shameless slugs.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. We'll see. I thought that they said Starfield was still going to be across all platforms because it was before
Yeah.
the final sale had gone through, but everything after Starfield will be Xbox exclusive. PC, of course.
It's just kind of a kick in the penis to anybody who played Elder Scrolls, to be honest. Though.
Yeah, I
you know
know,
what I
right?
mean? Like,
Yeah.
here we are, like 12 years later,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
or
And
whatever it is. What did it come out in 2010?
I think it was
2011.
2011.
Elder
was it?
Scrolls, Skyrim. It was 2011.
Skyrim. 2011.
It was 11,
Okay.
11, 11 is when it released.
But
Wow. Well, they're
you
definitely
pinching your
missing the.
nipple. Are you
Fuck
like
yeah.
Fat, my nipple's over here.
For
Nick's
all the
hand is in
listeners
his
out there,
fucking
Nick
shirt.
is
Yeah.
denying
Button
it,
it up,
but it's
Nick. Button it
true.
up.
Yeah, Nick's got his Hawaiian shirt buttoned down to his belly button, and his fucking
Unbuttoned.
hand is in his shirt like Napoleon, and he's just rubbing on his nipple. Just for the
Yeah.
record, there's
Yeah,
your
that's-
play-by-play. Like what the fuck?
Somebody's
All right, so
excited
I-
for
wait.
Starfield.
Quick.
Yeah.
I am
Oh,
excited
fuck.
for Starfield.
You know what I thought about? I was just
Starfield.
saying how much I love this fucking game.
No, he's not that excited, Randy. He's only running one, not two.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I'll get there. But,
Yeah.
for the record, I wore the Hawaiian shirt because I was gonna wear Nick Vern 51 merch, but when I pulled it out of the dryer, the shirt was super wrinkly. So like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll just wear what I wear on stream. So
Oh, okay. There you go.
usually,
So he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt just so he can rub his nipples. Just FYI.
yeah,
Nice.
usually on
Deep
stream I have
Hawaiian
sunglasses on
shirt.
too.
He's got that. He's got the whole like dad vibe going on right now, like dad vibe
Yep.
on vacation. He's asking where the
Exactly.
tortillas are.
I live vicariously through Nick. I hear all of it about his party and club jaunts. I can't do that anymore.
Yes. Well, Marcus hypes me up quite a lot. But what was I going?
Wait, Nick, are you in a relationship? Are you in a relationship
Nope.
right now? Oh, you're
Super
not.
Yeah,
Thank you, Tori.
He's
That is
It's-
a
it's-
long story for after the podcast is done.
Got it.
Yeah, so,
Got it.
um,
Yeah, that's all right.
yeah. So it's Slorfest USA over here.
Yep. Got him
Um,
going.
But no, you know, at the end of the day, I would be okay if Starlink or whatever the fuck-
Starfield.
Starfield or any game.
Star
sorry.
Blazers.
I'm,
I thought you had a coffee.
Nick. You're bad as me, Marcus.
I'm pounding this coffee. This coffee is fantastic.
I have more if you want.
No, one is good.
I
Dude,
have.
you're
I can't
pounding
drink it.
coffee at
If I
night,
just-
50
10
at
o'clock.
night, dude. What the fuck?
Wait,
This is how he is all the time.
wait, bro. I'm a dad.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I'm a cabinet maker. I'm a dad. I'm a husband, and then I'm a
Right.
content creator. Like I don't go to bed until like midnight every night. I
Mm.
need the coffee. If I'm not drinking the coffee, I'm toast.
Yeah,
You know what I
Marcus,
mean?
Modern day Jesus Christ, the cabinet maker.
Yeah, dude. Like people
Love
tell
it.
me all the time I'm an alien. But anyway, the
What were we talking about?
We were
Video
talking about
games or something?
Starfield for a second.
Saying like you wouldn't
Oh, yeah.
mind if or something about the
What the
exclusives, the fact that Starfield's
how did
going
that
to be
just
That's weird.
that was
he's
weird.
back.
Oh,
Yeah, that was weird.
And Gator's back. Gator's video just blooped.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
the
you
blip.
just switched place with Randy on
It
my
was a
screen
blip.
here too.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
5 years have gone by.
Yeah.
See the beard?
Yeah.
But no, the
Guys, bet on the
no, what I'm
Celtics.
saying is I'm okay with exclusivity games. I'm just concerned that these big companies are buying everything. So
Yeah.
pretty soon everything is just going to be one company or two.
Yeah.
It
You know
just
what I
felt
mean?
kind of like, Xbox was running in being like, 70 times the size, like, value wise than Sony, and was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Why are we even going to keep trying? We're losing the exclusive, the content, the exclusives battle here. Let's just buy up the studios. And it's
Yeah.
like, man, I hope they don't
Right.
get watered down,
Yeah,
Well,
hopefully not.
There's two sides to that, right? Like you can do, like when they bought Blizzard Activision, it's like, okay, they
They
could,
don't own that yet.
well, not yet. But my thoughts when that was being talked about was that, okay, they're going to, obviously there's like culture problems in the office there.
I was
They
gonna
have
say,
all
wasn't
the,
that like a train wreck and they bought that thing? I was like, really?
Yeah. So they could fix that with their other corporate policies. But B, like you can take care of some of the other like crappy business policies that like Activision games have, like microtransactions and things like that.
Ugh.
But also, like, if you guys are playing on PC, I mean, isn't every Xbox game just like a Microsoft thing? So you get to play it on your PC
Yes.
anyway, so it
Yeah.
doesn't even
Yep,
matter.
day one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter to us.
It's really just about them having something to say that's like, because like, dude, you look at the lineup for Sony, it's like God of War, friggin' Ratchet and Clank, friggin'
Spider-Man.
like
Yeah,
Spider-Man, Horizon, and then like Xbox, you're like Halo.
Yeah, but here's where Xbox
dot.
wins. Xbox Game Pass is the way of the future.
Yeah, but PlayStation Plus is pretty dope too.
Oh,
yeah,
I
but
guess Sea of Thieves
PlayStation
is the other
Plus.
one.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is here's the thing is Xbox Game Pass is releasing every game on Game Pass on day one.
Yeah, that is a pretty bold.
If it's
move.
Xbox Studio game.
No.
So
Yeah.
if you're paying $15 a month for their Ultimate, you get every brand new game the day it comes out. You download it on your hard drive. When you stop paying the $15 a month, you lose the game, but you get a brand new game whenever you want it, and you download as many of the games as you want.
Yeah, that's nice.
Sony comes out with their thing, and it's tiered, and you can't even get their brand new games on day one via their Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
because,
Like
and we watched a video. Remember that video? And the guy's like, look it. Sony cannot compete with Xbox. Sony needs people to buy copies of their $60 or $70 game in order to continue to make these games. So they can't put God of War 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it is, on the Game Pass of Sony Game Pass because they need the revenue in order to be able to make it. Microsoft makes so much money off just Windows that
I was
it
going to
pays
say,
for
like,
the
they
Game
just
Pass.
have money.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so much more money, deeper pockets, and then it's like, but here's the thing though, is like, it just started, so it's like, are they just paying the game studios out of their pocket and like eating some cost somewhere with that? Because my assumption was that the games are so expensive because Sony has these like tiny ass game studios that are great at cranking out games, and they have to spend a shitload of money nowadays to make these games because they're all massive and the expectations are huge. I don't mind paying $70 for a game that I'm going to play the shit out of. Like when I think of Game Pass, not the ones that are like the actual games you want to play. And everybody's like, oh, I got 500 games. I'm like, I wouldn't play any of those because I don't have a ton of time to play video games. I want to play the ones that are the heavy hitters.
Right.
Like,
That I
for
want.
example, Elden Ring, I've been playing for like 3 months now, and I haven't played a single other game.
I know.
I bought like Hollow Knight and played it once on the weekend, but like,
yeah, before that, I was playing the new Pokemon game, that Legends Arceus or whatever, which was pretty sick, actually. Definitely
not
could
bad,
have.
actually. Yeah.
Definitely could have upped the graphics a bit. They definitely shortchanged the graphics a ton. But I will say, and I know this is a complete side tangent for what we're talking about, but I will say that game is exactly how you always wanted Pokemon to be played. Like, you're live running around, you can throw multiple balls at multiple Pokemon, you can throw your Pokemon, have it capture something out of a tree, fucking go over here, jump on your thing, ride across the land. Like, it's so open and free, and even in battle, you can still walk around and watch the battle from all angles. And it's just like, anyways, I really hope they make more additions to
it
the
just looks like a
Arceus.
Minecraft mod.
Yeah, they need to make so Pokemon Legends, I think, is going to continue, and they'll just keep making Legends series games, but hopefully with better graphics, because it's pretty bad. But anyway,
But that was Adam, your point about, the collective point about Microsoft having funding from somewhere else. That's kind of what I was trying to say with like, hey, this is this big parent company that they don't have to rely on just their games for income. So it can like let the games be better content. You know, you can take risks with your content if like making something that's artistically cool that might not sell to like millions and billions and millions of dollars, which means it's like a better playing game. If that makes sense.
It just reminds me of like, in a way, like Amazon could technically like slowly bleed out any company they wanted by just eating costs for a couple years until the other guy runs out of money, and then, hey, look at that, now we're the only people that sell protein powder or some shit.
Yeah,
so it's like,
that's a good one.
I just hope it doesn't like turn into one of those things.
Yeah.
Also, I own a PlayStation, and I would like there to continue to be games on it.
Exactly. That's a
Also-
big fear, you know.
Right.
Funny enough, me and Adam did a really fun speed test because we have both systems downstairs, and we have two separate TVs that we can hook up and nerd out if we feel like it. So we had Elden Ring loaded up. We're in the same spot, and all we did was fast travel to the same spot in the game. So starting in the same spot, ending in the same spot. And his loaded within 10 seconds, and mine was 45 seconds. So that just shows you the speed. Like, no, the Xbox was slower by almost 3 times, which I thought was incredible, because I was like, what? Like, this Xbox thing was supposed to be like, so much better or whatever. And it is faster. It's faster than the other Xbox, but I couldn't believe how much slower the Elden Ring was performing on. And that includes when you die. So when you die, and there's a lot of death in that game, his loads in like that much faster. So it was kind of a crazy console war thing. I didn't want to believe it. My buddy Ryan was like, nah, dude, the Xbox is so much slower. I was like, no, it's not. I'm sitting there with my like Halo Ultimate Edition Xbox. I'm like, fuck you. And then we did the test, and I was like, shit, I guess I got to eat my words now. But
That's
Yeah.
interesting because spec wise, the Xbox looks better. We talked about that a while
right.
ago.
The Xbox, where the Xbox shines is the shutting it off and turning it on and picking the game right up.
Oh, dude,
Where-
that is sick.
Yeah, it's where the Sony is the solid state technology inside the PlayStation 5 is incredible. Like you said, it boots up like real quick. It loads real quick. They did something to those SSDs where it's super quick, but the Xbox system itself has better technology in it.
Yeah, I will say if I don't connect Elden Ring to the online mode and I shut off my system and I turn it back on, I am instantly playing the game.
That's
Yeah.
just
It
when
is
you load in when
unreal.
it's online mode, it kind of just like kicks you off or whatever.
Yeah, it kicks you off and everything. But if you're not playing, it's like it's unreal. Like I've never, and the fact that I can be like, oh, let me go watch Netflix, and then I'll just go watch Netflix, and then like and then I'll come
Click a
right
button,
back.
Go back right back to your game.
Yeah, I'll go right back, and it's like, oh, boom, I'm playing again.
That's
no
awesome.
hesitation. It's crazy, man. The future is here. The future is now.
Future. Can I talk about my week?
Yes.
Oh my God, we didn't
Talk
even
about
talk
it.
about you.
I know. No.
Oh my
Oh, yeah,
God.
right.
Oh my God,
Wow.
Nick, what's going on
Nick,
with
how's it
you?
going?
Nick. Oh, hey, Nick.
Nick.
Yeah.
This happens every time I let Marcus go first.
Oh my
This
God.
is like the
Because you were
fourth
flicking your
episode.
nipples for the past 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. I really like. I'm so used to Nick going first.
Right.
That like,
Marcus was like, "Can you read the AIE stuff, please?"
yeah, like just talk about mandatory fun night. Let's go.
Anyways, back at the ranch. I did a whole bunch of stuff this week. So let's see what else. I think.
All
That's
right,
it.
you guys
I
want to
thought I
talk
had
about
a-
something else?
Appreciate it, Nick.
Oh yeah, like Nick just had his moment. Nick, your vacation was great. Good.
All right, so I went on vacation this weekend. I went up to the Mount Washington Resort and Hotel.
Nice.
with my family, which was awesome. So it was for
It's a gorgeous
a
hotel.
larger function. It was a convention technically for this food lobbying group. It's called the Massachusetts Food Association, and its members are all companies that are food related that operate in Massachusetts or New England. So my dad works for Big Y, but he's Big Y sends a bunch of folks up there, but big companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Polar Seltzer, which is what I'm drinking right now. That's how I got the 16-ounce can sample I showed you earlier. Any food company you could possibly think of is probably in the MFA. So they host this big, it's essentially like a family-oriented party, and they rent out the entire Mount Washington Resort.
So can you explain to me why I saw a Reese's cup at the store today with potato chips inside of it?
Yeah, what the fuck is
What's
that?
up with that?
I don't work for fucking Nestle or Reese's.
Why don't you have my answer?
Wait. All right. So we have enough people to ask the question. Have you guys ever eaten a Reese's peanut butter cup with chips?
No.
No, I haven't. I saw one at the store today, and my mind was blown.
Yeah, it's like stuffed with
It's
chips.
literally like there's chips inside the thing. I was like, why is this? Who is this? Who's getting
That
fired?
sounds. Wait. Well, time out.
Who's getting fired?
That sounds great. Oh, first of all, I can't eat chocolate anyways. But so
It's a sham.
We
you
forgot
remember, I'm allergic to
he's the
chocolate.
human equivalent of a dog.
Yes.
Listen,
Yeah. Pretty much.
like but it's a sham. Don't fucking listen. It's all a lie. He's been living like this forever.
Anyways,
It's a
Yeah.
sham.
The
Back
figs
at
will
back-
do for attention.
what I was gonna say is they put pretzels inside of like various chocolate items. So I imagine chips are similar, like crunch factor. That's
Like
not that weird.
saltiness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But listen,
salty.
yeah,
Salty crunch,
but like
yeah.
you can get a chocolate dipped pretzel, and that's good.
Okay.
But like, I've never had a chocolate dip chip.
Until
Yeah,
now,
I never grabbed a bag of Lay's and just been like, man, I wish I had chocolate sauce. You know what I mean? Pretzel's like a normal thing, I feel like, to have with chocolate. You know, like you see people,
Yeah.
there's even chocolates with pretzel in it, salt. Okay, I get it. But I don't know, dude. I saw potato chips and I was like, are we in the fucking Twilight Zone, dude? What is happening?
Pretty much. They're doing the same thing with cereals. They're like, all right, everything's a cereal.
Yeah.
Wendy's Frosty cereal. Friggin' Peeps
What?
cereal.
That's
Friggin'
weird.
There's a Dunkin' Donuts cereal.
actually, the
That's
Dunkin'
real.
Donuts cereal slaps, though. I'm not gonna lie. The macchiato cereal is actually really fucking good.
Oh my god.
I'm not trying that.
Yeah, no.
Anyways, yeah, the spa up at the resort was pretty dope. I just want to say it was really nice to get away from like civilization for 3 days because like I've been playing. So I work obviously Monday through Friday, not as long as Marcus, but
It's fine.
work at the cancer research office Monday through Friday, and then I've been having paintball both days a weekend because I'm playing in 2 different tournament series for like the past 3.5 months. So I have not had like a weekend to not get up early and go do something.
Yeah, like you didn't have something to do.
Right.
Right.
So it's nice to just like relax. But then, like, of course, I saw all my friends that were up there, and one of my friends brought his like DJ setup because he's starting to get into DJing. Of course, DJ Envy had to get on the decks at some point too. So it's just
Yes.
so it's just raging all weekend. And like come Monday, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. I can't drink for like a month. But so
Dude,
it
that
went from,
Omni
like,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say it went from like, oh great, I get to go relax to like, well, I guess I'm just partying all weekend. But what were you gonna say?
All I was gonna say is that Omni Hotel is absolutely astounding. It's
crazy.
It's so gorgeous, and like that back view where you see Mount Washington,
Yeah,
is
incredible.
just breathtaking. It's like honestly, you kind of and like you have that really long like drive up to it too. The whole thing is just kind of surreal looking. Like you don't think it should actually be there.
It's weird. Like the hotel sits in this little perch, and you look out, and it, like all directions, it's just these beautiful mountains. It's like almost in like a bowl.
It's really nice. It's a gorgeous
It's crazy.
hotel.
Also on stream, I finally started playing The Witcher 3.
Oh my god.
Hell
So-
yeah.
4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks later.
It was 2 weeks.
Okay.
It was 2 weeks, 2 episodes.
Well,
I thought.
it's like when you catch a fish and it was really this big, but you say it's this big.
Well,
So I was saying it's 4 weeks because I'm emphasizing that you said you were going to do it for weeks on end and you never did.
it was 2 podcast episodes ago. We talked about it with Mr. Joey Feta, aka Frozen Cheddar. The that's his username online. But yeah, I finally sucked less and actually downloaded it and queued it up for stream. And I got actually pretty into it. So I played it originally. If I remember correctly, I think it was Adam's copy of it when we lived
probably.
together. Back at UConn for PS4. I played it for a couple hours, but I was super into Fallout 4, I think, at the time, or something else, and like really didn't give it a chance to get super into it. But now when I revisited it Monday, I actually really, really enjoyed it.
Dude, it's tough because like I fell off. I didn't even beat it. Like I played it a ton, and then I kind of fell off because I think I like went to Lebanon or something and like didn't have my PlayStation. And when I got back, I was like, dude, I don't remember a single thing about this game. There's just so much shit that goes into it, and I feel like I picked it up and I was like, oh man, I can't play this. I'm at it. I had to restart basically. I was like, I'm too far. Things are killing me left and right. I don't even remember the controls. It was,
there's a skill factor for the fighting, not nearly like Elden Ring, of course, but like you have to pay attention to like the fights. You can't just go into it, and you have to prep for most of them too when you're fighting monsters to get the right like oil on each sword that you're using and stuff. It's pretty complicated. So like I can see myself getting into it.
Did you do the werewolf thing yet when you go into that town and like you go into the basement thing?
Not yet. I did originally. I know what you're talking about, but I haven't gotten to this yet.
Yeah, that thing fucked me up.
Yep.
GATR, Hazel, Randy, you guys ever play Witcher?
I've only played it briefly, but I haven't actually done like a playthrough, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. The lore is crazy. If you listen to the show ever, I'm super into these single player action RPGs with a crazy lore background. Like loved Horizon Zero Dawn, love the Elder Scrolls series, love Fallout series.
Dude, Horizon Zero Dawn needs like a movie or something.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah,
They're making
I've
one.
not. I think
they're making a movie.
One.
They're making a movie or a series.
There's that whole PlayStation Studios thing, right? That
Trying
they
to
like
think if
started
it's a
up.
movie or a
They kinda
series. It's
teased.
one of the two.
Yeah.
It's in
Because I
Sweet.
think they announced
pre-production.
a possible God of War series too, or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these
Yeah,
things
God
are going
of
to
War.
They
become
did.
more like
just
series
don't fuck
based.
it up. That's just please just don't make it cheesy and then it's like
I know.
I will. So GATR, I already know GATR's answer, but GATR, did you ever play The Witcher 3?
All right, I have it loaded on my PC. I have a gaming PC. I bought it on Steam when it was on sale, and the title screen was beautiful. 10 out of 10 title screen.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Hazel, you play it?
I did it briefly. I got to see like
Yeah.
the first encounter kind of thing and played that, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And then I just never went back.
That sounds like me.
sounds like most folks. That was kind of how I did.
I never played it.
I probably played like 20-ish hours worth originally, and then I just started on stream. So 2 hours.
The question I have is there's nudity in the game.
Yeah, like the opening cutscene, you're naked
Right.
in a tub.
Yeah. How does that work
Hot.
with Twitch TOS?
So far, so good. Well,
yeah, I
okay,
guess
there
that's true.
wasn't
There's a
real
lot of
nudity,
sexual stuff in that game.
but like the only
Right.
nudity so far was I think
His ass.
and it's Geralt's
you see a
ass, and I think you see Yennefer's ass too.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought you saw titty too.
You got definitely got a lot of side boob.
titties.
You get some side boob action.
You got side boob in the opening cutscene, but I don't think you see full on.
Is there
But
any
what I'm saying
schlong
is
in
this-
that game?
Yes.
Probably.
You get to
There's
see some.
definitely
You get to
schlong.
see some cock
Oh yeah,
in this
full
game.
on.
What
yeah.
the fuck, dude?
You get the full fucking schlong, fully extended.
I'm gonna come home
No,
tomorrow
but you
and
see
start playing
some
the
crazy-
game.
Yeah, I'll be like, wait, where is it? Show me the cock.
I want to see a video game cock. Anyway,
all the pixels.
Oh,
what was I going to say? But no, but seriously, do you know if you're
It's
going to
like a
get?
Minecraft character.
I don't know. I had that one. I pulled the VOD down where I accidentally pulled up the porn tab.
Yeah, but that was funny.
Accident.
That was
Accidentally?
hilarious. No, I did. So I had two different browsers. I have Chrome for normal things, and then like an encrypted browser for that. And
Right.
apparently the encrypted browser, when you close it out, it opts to whatever you had up previously. And so streaming and like went to click. It's right next to my regular browser, my Chrome tab, like on the toolbar. And I clicked the wrong browser while streaming, and like it just popped up as porn. It's like, oh, great,
Sick.
thanks.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Like it was like 3 seconds, but that was a scramble.
But there was a clip, and then he deleted the VOD. So
I deleted the
clip went
VOD,
away.
so it went away.
Okay.
But like, because like I can't have that evidence up there. I'm
Definitely not, dude. That's like the whole like, you go to show your boy something on your phone and you pull up your internet and the last thing you're like, oh, hold up. Sorry.
Exactly. You open your photos and it's the hidden folder. You're like, oh, hold on.
My bad. They are actually coming out with another Witcher game. It's confirmed. I saw that on IGN the other day.
Yes, that's exciting.
But that's going to be like 5 years from now.
I mean, it's going to
especially
be
because
exactly.
of how bad, especially because of how bad CD Projekt Red screwed up Cyberpunk. I'm sure
that's
they're gonna take their time.
Well, hey, they fixed Cyberpunk, and now it's $5.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
But like,
spent $5
They
on worse things. I feel like.
Yeah,
I
probably.
definitely have. I feel like
Yeah.
I've spent $5 on like a drink or something.
Yeah,
Easily. Some
definitely.
things are $5. But anyways, recap my week. I'm actually getting into The Witcher. I was gonna play it yesterday, but I opted to keep watching Stranger Things season 4, which is pretty awesome. I don't know if anybody else has seen it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yes.
Haven't started it
No,
yet.
not yet.
It's
Yeah.
very scary. I think it's
It
the
is.
scariest.
It's totally
season.
different than the others.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think it
wow.
is.
It
Okay.
is very, very horror-y, in my opinion.
Nice. I
Um,
like that.
Very good. Obviously, I've watched all of Kenobi too. We already talked about that.
Kenobi.
I
What
don't
do you guys
really-
think of Moon Knight? I feel like this is kind of like a random thing. It's like kind of been.
I liked Moon Knight.
I liked it.
It had its problems, but overall, I really enjoyed it.
I will say, from an acting perspective, Oscar Isaac is amazing.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really, really hard to do what he did in that show, especially on continuous takes. Like there's a
Yeah.
few shots that aren't split, and you know that he was doing transformations like that in an instant. And that is just like, to watch that, I was like, wow, this guy really pulled the stops for a superhero show for sure.
Absolutely.
Um,
I was happy to see him like really get to act and like show his abilities after him like barely having to do anything as Poe Dameron.
Oh my
in Star
god,
Wars.
dude!
He's, like, completely wasted.
My uncle got me a Poe Dameron action figure as a joke for my birthday, but it's sick because I just have like a in the box perfect Poe Dameron action figure.
Nice. I
You
have
wanna
his
see a,
X-wing somewhere.
You want to see a really good movie or series from Oscar Isaac?
Yeah.
Scenes of a Marriage on Apple TV. I don't know if anybody's seen that.
Oh no,
I haven't.
I don't have
I'm
Apple
the old
TV.
guy. It's wow.
It's really
I
good.
I think that's his
out.
best
Honestly.
acting ever.
Oh,
Really
sure.
good.
To just get Apple TV just to see Ted Lasso, but now there's something else I want to watch on.
Yeah.
there.
There's a lot on
I know.
there.
I gotta watch Ted Lasso, especially because I like soccer.
Yeah.
see,
I started that.
all you guys are
Good.
talking about Ted Lasso, and I'm just stuck on the whole pixel schlong from The Witcher 3.
Yeah, let's talk
Is that
about
what
that.
you're googling right now?
Just looks like a Minecraft character in full armor.
Minecraft sword.
For me, Moon Knight, I guess I just didn't like the split personality complex
we never talked about it on the show, right?
because I never finished it.
Oh, yeah,
like
that's
I
right.
watched
Oh, okay.
4 episodes and I was just like, meh.
So,
like
I
Oscar,
thought it was cool.
And because I'm such a Star Wars fan, whether you say whatever you want about the sequel trilogies. Once somebody is a Star Wars character, I cannot let that go. Like every time I see him doing his fucking transformations, I'm just like, shut up, Poe. Get in the X-Wing and shut up. You know what I mean? Like,
shut up.
right. But like, I'm being serious. Like, it's hard for me to not see Star Wars in an actor. Like, he did a wonderful job doing the splits, but it's just hard for me to let that go.
No,
like,
I know.
I could never watch Rey be somebody else.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I mean?
did want to
Like,
see that other movie with her and Tom Holland, though. What was that called? She did a movie with Tom Holland that I thought was, it looked like it was going to be
every
really
time
cool.
I see her, she just always looks like she's taking a shit or she needs to take a shit. You know, she's always got this like
slightly strained face. Yeah.
yeah.
but then you throw in like Mark Hamill, and where Mark Hamill, like, he did an amazing animated Joker, but I think
we don't see him.
But you don't see him.
Yeah.
Because if he was live action doing it, I would have been like, why is Luke Skywalker trying to be the Joker? That I can't.
And
I just
honestly,
can't.
what you're talking about is a real problem for actors considering major roles in Star Wars films, because
Yeah.
they usually get this problem where like people will be like, well, they're only that person.
Dude, well, think about Harry Potter. I don't think a single one of the besides maybe like Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
I don't like, but even still seeing him in other movies, I'm like, okay, Potter.
It's Harry Potter doing something else.
Potter.
Dude, well, the guy that played Malfoy, he was in like a show that we were watching. I think it was like he was in The Flash, right? Or something.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And the whole time I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, the only
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Before I lose it, because I'm going to forget.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the latest Obi-Wan episode,
Yeah.
like in the guy inside the room that was like holding the girl when he first captured Kenobi, he's like, I've got you, before he gets away.
Yeah, he's from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I thought that's the guy
yeah.
from Back
That
to
was
the
Flea.
Future, Needles.
It was Flea.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
Flea.
that was Flea.
Yeah, but I don't know his real name from Back to the Future. He looked like Needles from one of the Back to the Future.
Wait, that was Flea?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Flea.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Douglas J. Needles.
Yes.
That's so funny, dude. I didn't know
Who
that.
the fuck is this?
Yeah,
If that's
look at
Flea,
him.
I'm gonna freak out.
Yeah,
It is Flea.
It
What?
is him.
Flea also played
Needles?
this guy in Back to
Also
the Future.
Flea?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, hey.
What?
That's wicked funny. I didn't know
Link
Flea
this
was
in
in
the
Back.
show notes.
Holy
Link this in the show notes. This
Hold
is
on.
how old I am.
All right.
He's gonna link it in
I
the
gotta-
show
I
notes.
gotta
Scroll
look it
all the
up
way.
now.
Scroll all the way to the bottom. Hold on.
Wow.
Needles. Back to the
It's a YouTube
Future.
link.
He put it at the bottom of the
Yeah,
show.
dude. Oh my god, it is Flea.
See?
Back then,
Douglas
I
Douglas
guess
J.
so.
Needles.
Douglas J. Needles.
And
That's
his
the
name in the movie was Needle. Like the guy in the show is Needle. So that's all I saw. You guys saw Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Yeah.
and I can't quote one of their songs right now. And all I'm saying is Back to the Future too.
Wow, that's actually really funny, dude.
that's crazy.
So, but yeah.
Amazing.
How's it hanging, McFly?
See, yeah,
Dude, I can't believe that.
Yeah. So
Well, anyways.
wow. Now, see,
You're all
so
amped
happy.
up.
Yeah. So I'm so happy I talked about that. Anyway.
You just proved
Back
your
to the
point.
ranch.
Yeah.
So, in AIE news, Tuesdays are the place to be in AIE. In case you don't know, or for Randy and Adam, AIE is our guild that we were in. Family friendly
It's a gaming community.
gaming community across
Nice.
many games. Tuesdays are the place to be in AIE. We have 2 different mandatory fun nights going on Tuesdays. And
What is mandatory fun night, Nick?
Yeah, I
mandatory
was
fun
about to
night
ask.
is where the fun is mandatory, but attendance is not. So we do all kinds of different fun content in the specific game. So the first Tuesday is Star Wars The Old Republic, and then it's also Destiny 2. So we start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and join us for all of the fun. That is mandatory every single Tuesday night in whatever game we're
Nice.
playing.
Oh, yeah.
And if all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org. Get our Discord information in the top right-hand corner of the website. Ask for a guild invite, whether or not you play Star Wars The Old Republic or Destiny 2 or The Witcher 3 or Pokemon Legend of Arceus or World of Warcraft or StarCraft that hasn't come out yet or
Starlink,
Starfield is what
Or
I meant.
Guild Wars 2
Or
or,
Guild Wars
Final
2.
Fantasy 14 or any games you want to play.
We would love to have you.
All right, Nick, we've been recording for an hour and a half. I know you got to pee.
I definitely do. So we'll be right back.
Jeez, Nick, hurry up. We're trying to finish this podcast.
And we're back. So today we're talking about, shockingly enough, podcasting.
What happens when you mix 3 shows in once? You're an hour and 41 minutes into the show, and you haven't even talked about the topic you're supposed to talk about.
Oh, you guys podcast?
Exactly.
Wait a minute, I want to
Well,
talk
you have a
about my bill
podcast?
crafting. Hold on.
You have a podcast too?
Dude, we have a podcast. Oh my God. Holy shit.
Dude.
What are you guys
I should
even
listen.
doing in
We
this
have a
room?
podcast.
Wait, you have a podcast too?
Yeah.
So that's perfect. So why don't you guys tell us about your podcast?
Yes.
Like Bone Apple Tea, or do you want to do the other guys first?
You guys go
Doesn't
first.
matter.
Okay.
You guys go.
Okay. So Bone Apple
Let's hear about
Tea.
Bone Apple Tea.
And Adam, check me on this, but we started out our initial, if you go back to episode 1, we're on episode 162 is dropping next week. So if you go back to episode 1, it was very much, our structure was, let's take highly debated or highly advanced topics for people. We'll do the research and we'll present information that was like supposed to be non-biased and just like, hey, here's the information, make up your mind. And also like we wanted to present the information in a way that was like fun and easy to digest, such that like you didn't have to have anything other than a high school education to understand research papers, like pretty much like that. And then once a week we would also do like bullshit topics, like just fun, like news, current events. And when we first started, it was more like pandemic time, so we had time to do 2 episodes a week. And so we were dropping 2 episodes a week consistently for almost like a whole year. We almost did that. And then what we found is that we seemed to excel when it came to interviews. So like we would interview people and they'd be like, yo, that was like some of the best time I've ever had on a podcast ever. And, that kind of always lingered with us. So we tried getting interviews as often as we could. And then it wasn't until this year that we really cranked the knob on just like, hey, let's sort of put the original idea of the show on the back burner and focus on interviews. And that's sort of where we're at today. So it's very much interview based. And we have a kind of a deal going with this company, AudioMac. And AudioMac is like a software that's much like Spotify or anything else. Except I guess it's almost like
Instagram, but like for music.
Yeah. So it's like the people you follow, if they like a song or if they re-up, almost like retweeting a song, it'll show up on their page. And so if you follow that person, you guys can see each other's music that they're listening to, podcasts that they're listening to. It's a really unique way to digest music. And so they have a deal with us where one of their leads is just giving us people to interview, especially that are more popular in the electronic dance music sector of the world. And so like we've interviewed a bunch of people that have like one of the guys like headlined, this guy Plumpy headlined over at a Vegas show recently, like within the past week. We've interviewed a bunch of people in Chicago, and Akira was
an A&R for like
Diplo. Yeah. So like he works directly with Diplo. So it was really interesting to like learn what it's like to like work with some of these people. And then we interview like a bunch of other types that are just like around. I'm trying to think like besides just like Andrew Caudle, we did an interview with Sedona, which she's a really popular fitness influencer on Instagram. She has like 200,000 followers or something. For us, that was like for me, I was like, wow, holy crap, you have 200,000 followers. But so we're trying to just keep the interviews going because that seems to be where we have the most fun and seems to bring a lot of value to the people that we bring on. So that's kind of our bag as it is right now.
Nice.
Awesome.
Cool.
And how about the Guardian Downcat podcast?
Hazel, you want to talk about how we got started?
Yes, give us the breakdown.
So we got started. Basically, we listened to another podcast called Dad Tales Podcast, and they were a Destiny podcast, and they were going off the air. And one person in their community just asked, well, who do we want to take over for these guys? And a lot of people just kept mentioning GATR and myself. Yeah, exactly. You listen to
So
our
you guys
podcast.
so you basically were not planning on doing a podcast, but they threw you into the podcast.
You got
let me explain.
voluntold.
No, let me explain this.
Let me
me
take
and Hazel's like my younger brother. We're probably 8 or 10 years apart, and we would in our clan chat, right? Wasn't it? We would always go at each other. We're like little 2 brothers just picking on each other
Every time we would go at each other.
every time, and people like that chemistry, and that's how that got started.
Yeah. And then, so they said that I was actually looking at doing a podcast with somebody else his name was Easy. And, then Gator messaged me and he's like, hey, why don't we do a podcast? I was like, well, hey, I have another guy who wants to do a podcast. Why don't the three of us just do it? And then, that was sort of like the origins of it. And again, a Destiny-based podcast. We were all three dads, and that was sort of like the basis for it.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Cool.
We're like
So is there
140.
a third?
See, this week will be
There was a
150th
third.
episode.
He had another kid, and that, squashed his time.
Yeah, that
Get
makes
it.
sense.
That'll do it. How did we start talking into microphones? Well, I can tell the origin story. So basically, me and Mark used to work together when I was taking classes and stuff. This was many, many moons ago. But we'd be in different rooms working various construction stuff, and we'd be talking about video games. We were working in the same room or listening to podcasts individually, and be working in different rooms. And we started realizing, like, oh, the stuff we're listening to is kind of the same conversations we're having. So why don't we just record what we would be talking about anyways and make it a podcast? And the first two episodes were terrible. We had
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. The first
Yeah,
episodes
you
always
had-
are.
you had to listen to it at some point. But we had like a Blue Yeti microphone on like a folding table for one mic between the two of us, and like the gain was so high you could like hear a person 3 floors up fart or something. It was ridiculous. It was terrible. You heard
That's
all the
awesome.
little extra noises, but
Yeah.
then after that we just started finding our groove. We knew we always wanted to keep everything super casual and like not a lot of edits and stuff like that. And as we started to have more different guests on, we had some cool stuff happen. We got into the BioWare content creator program through Star Wars: The Old Republic, and then had some different game developers on, some from like Jackie Cow from BioWare, and then later from Gearbox, some different voice actors, some podcasters.
Pretty
now. Lately, our shtick has been a lot of streamers, interviewing streamers and like doing like a streamer spotlights type of thing, which is pretty cool. Marcus and I both. Marcus started streaming first, and then I'd kind of do it as like a hobby thing. But
I think
awesome.
you're missing the core point of our show.
Yeah, I mean, no, I definitely left out the whole nerds community thing, which is the point.
No. Like, we started the show because we talk about the shit all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and go in depth. And then one day when we said, let's do this, it kind of just took off. But the magic of the show was like, we talked about it in the beginning, like, okay, if we're going to do this and we want to do this for a long period of time.
Yeah, like if you're starting a podcast, you're committing for the long haul. You can't do it for like 6 months and stop, and then you're just wasting your time.
You can, but like that's for me. A podcast for me is about evolution, right? You're not like a show is short. A podcast is meant for the long haul, right?
Yeah.
And I think for us, the big point for us was we both said, okay, what can we commit to do this?
Yeah.
Because I actually remember when Bone Apple Tea started, and I'll talk about that in a second. And
Those
I actually had very, very strong opinions on your show in the beginning.
Oh,
and I'll give that to you in a minute.
Oh, I'm excited.
But what I'm saying is Nick and I were both like, look, at Nick's in college. I'm working, and I'm a new dad and all that stuff. I was like, and we both decided that we were going to record once every 2 weeks.
Yep.
Like, this is what we're going to commit to. Thursdays every 2 weeks.
Right.
It's just going to be the way it is.
Because like we found every 2 weeks is like, if you do every week, stuff comes up, right? Pretty often. But like every 2 weeks, it's like if something comes up, it's like, oh fuck, figure it out. Fuck off. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's every 2 weeks. You don't have an excuse to miss a show if it's every 2 weeks.
And that's why we're only at episode 154 and almost recorded for 5 years.
Right.
And obviously, when the pandemic came, it pushed us to go that
Every week.
different. But either way, I'm getting off the topic. The whole point for me for the show is to connect people. Whether you're a content creator, you're a game dev, you're just a podcaster, whatever it is,
Streamer, whatever. Yeah.
We want you to come hang out with us and just have a conversation. We don't want you to feel as if like there's pressure. The whole purpose of this show is just bowling night. You go out with your buddies. You're going bowling. You're shooting the shit for 2 hours, throwing strikes, spares, or gutter balls. But my point is hanging out with us. It's like throwing gutter balls all the time, but it's those couple hours. It's just us hanging around a table, drinking beer, hanging out, playing,
talking, whatever.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Like no pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you're our best friend that you haven't seen in 3 years, and we're picking up where we left off.
Right.
And yeah. So I'm going to start with the GDC guys. What does it take? What did it take for you guys to start the podcast?
Well, when we got thrown into the fire, I had zero podcasting experience, zero audio experience. I went to YouTube. I figured out, okay, I need to record 3 voices on 3 separate tracks, or at least 2 tracks, one coming into my headphones here and my mic going out. And I just did a lot of research on YouTube, and it was a do-it-yourself podcast. And over time, I've learned I use Audacity to do my editing. It's a very simple program. It's free.
I do too.
I
Look at Randy's face.
Bro,
No, I'm
Audacity, bro.
It's like sacrilegious.
I'm
Holy
actually
shit.
learning DaVinci. I'm learning Resolve. So I want to do some audio video editing as well down the road. But for now,
Hey, don't feel bad, Gator. I use Audacity too. It's fine.
It's so funny. I was just doing a podcast with, who the fuck were we podcasting with, where we were like, holy shit, I can't believe people use Audacity.
It was Akira.
It was Akira. He's like, bro, and the dinosaurs using Audacity out here. Yeah, sorry,
I know.
it's just funny.
Well, no, I
simple.
I capture OBS. I do 2-channel OBS.
Yeah.
I do desktop.
Nice.
Desktop is one channel and my mic is another. And that's why I compress and post, because usually I try to keep those 2 levels of sound the best I can. And over time I've learned to tweak it, but I'll usually compress and amplify in the end. That way it all comes out clean. But our show has segments. Our show is like a long radio show, like the old days, where you would, except we don't have the traffic and time at the top of the hour, right? We have segments of our show.
You know, you should really do one of like the joke, like middle, like segment breaks or commercial break. You should do that just
Like
once.
Nick's pee time.
Hey, this is Gator calling from Orlando, Florida, and it is sunny in this. And traffic on I-4 is terrible. You know what I mean? And then one time, Hazel does it. But either way, sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, I started out with zero experience, and Hazel dabbled in it as well. I mean, like you said, he was thinking about podcasting too, and I just took the reins and said, "Hey, I'll take care of the editing." He has the wit in the show. I'm the dry guy. I have the dry humor, and he has the wit and the comeback lines, and it's easy pickings for an old guy like me. So it's just something about our show. We just mesh, and but yeah, I mean, that's how we got started, and like I said, it's like an old time radio show, but without all the. I mean, I tuned into an FM channel the other day because my satellite was out or something, and they would talk or they play one song, and then you'd hear 5-10 minutes of commercials, and then you'd hear another song, and then another 5 or 10 minutes of commercials. I said, radio has lost it. They're off the rails. The thing I love about podcasting is you're talking to the person right there that's listening to you. You're talking in their earbuds. It's so personal, talking to your audience. I love that part. And we interview, Hazel was talking about it, but we interview guests. We have, we interview content creators and community members. You know, that gamer, that teabagged you last game. You ever wonder what's going through his head, or, what his life's like? There's not enough shows out there that just pick normal people that love the game that you do. So we do interviews every so often. We do a fast fire set. We call it a speed run. It's a fast fire question and answer segment. We kind of made it competitive. They have to answer as many questions as they can in 90 seconds.
Smoked me.
Yeah, you did okay.
So I've been I listened to their show, and I'm going to say there's a couple guests who are in the top levels that are fucking sus. All
what
right,
do you mean? Like their numbers are fudged?
Their numbers are fudged. I listened to the show.
Hazel's the judge.
I know, but there's a couple of them where on the podcast the timer runs out and there's like 3 more questions.
Well, we'll keep it. Now keep this in mind, Marcus. That timer is 90 seconds exactly, but that's added in post. You don't hear that when we're recording. The musical timer I add in post. But as soon as I answer the first question, boom, I'm attaching the track. So Hazel, what he does is I tend to stammer sometimes. when it comes to asking questions, I get crossed up on something, he automatically adjusts for it. And we do the best we can to make it fair. But we're talking about gamers here. They all are competing when they come on the show. But, we talk about the latest news from Destiny, just like you guys do with the Star Wars. And then we have a giant section where we have community questions from our community. We have a very thriving Discord where we have tons of people that we seem to be adding people every day, it seems. But man, they are the best people. And we say good morning to them every morning. And it's a very close-knit community. And they send in so many questions, we can't even pin them all in our Discord.
That's amazing.
So,
well, and you guys gave us
the idea.
Like Nick and I actually had a few conversations because I was like, I don't want to steal their thunder on it.
No,
because they do it. But well, I know. Well, that's basically what Nick said. Nick told me to basically stop being a baby back bitch.
Yeah.
Right. But
I think I literally said that.
You know, you definitely did.
I think I was like, stop being a baby back bitch.
Right. Exactly.
We can do the same thing as
Marcus.
Exactly.
We're all inspired by different podcasts. We all take from everybody else. We all share ideas. I got a lot of these ideas in our show from other podcasts because I listen to a ton of podcasts.
Yeah.
Now I'm listening to one more with the Apple Bon Appetit.
Yeah, I've already.
So I'll be adding that one to my rotation next week.
Yeah.
So love that.
But yeah, the thing about Marcus, the thing about community questions is you never know where the answers are going to go. Everything is very, fairly on the rails. But we get to the community questions. It's almost my favorite segment every week because you just never know what questions you're going to get asked. And we have speak pipes too. We have people who throw in the voicemails.
It's awesome.
It's a lot of fun. But anyway, that's our show in a nutshell. That's how we've done it for almost 150 episodes now. And I just want to mention this. This week we have decided to do a community question episode because we have so many. We have so many damn community questions. Sorry, I didn't mean cuss.
And Nick, you better add one.
Dude, I've been saying fucking shit and balls and cock, dude. I think you're okay with that.
I'm just saying.
All you want.
Hey, don't worry. Hazel drops plenty of F-bombs. I've learned to balance myself out with his.
Well, Nick, real quick.
Yeah.
So he talked about like the editing portion of it.
Yes.
So what I dove into was basically like the interview portion.
Okay.
Because I love those like authentic moments where you're talking to someone and you just know that it's all canned. I think we've all had that. But then when you ask that one question and it just breaks it and you hear it in their voice, they just like, it's not robot.
It changes their whole mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you get that live, that real moment. That's what I like listened for. And that's what I like dove into and tried to find out what I can do better to make those moments happen.
That's
very good at it. And we've had questions that are open-ended and the answers almost had us in tears.
Yeah.
We had one gamer talk about how he was in a bedroom about to pull the trigger, but his little girls were in the other. I get choked up just talking about it. But that was early in our podcasting career. That was very early in our episodes. And I told Hazel, I said, we got to keep doing the interviews, man. Because people want to talk. They want to talk about their lives and they want to share their experiences. And man, I still get shaken up just listening to that episode again. But interviews I know you guys do it too. You guys are big with your interview process. And we're so green, man. I mean, we're hobbyists. We're learning every day. I'm listening to podcasts every day. I'm trying to learn better techniques, but I'm very green when it comes to interviewing and stuff. I'm learning.
Yeah, Marcus and I have
Marcus
the
over
opposite.
over here.
All right, listen, we are the complete opposite. Literally,
good enough for government work.
We found Zencaster, and there's this post-production it does. It cleans up all the audio, and it sounds great.
Close enough.
And we pay for that. It takes fucking 20 minutes, and it's a home run.
Right.
Nick and I are the laziest podcasters on the planet. Like,
yep.
If editing the podcast takes more than 15 minutes, we suck and this show sucks.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be done in 15 minutes. Get it out the door and it's just authentic.
Yeah.
Nice.
But so
I slap on the intro music, put the break sound in, slap the outro on, done. Nothing. That's it. I don't edit anything after the post-production. That's automatic from Zencaster.
Adam and Randy, what does it take for your podcast to get off the ground and do it.
Are we talking like from the jump, like when we started,
Yes.
what it took?
Yeah, when you started.
Right.
Like if me and Nick were new podcasters and you were like, look at this.
How do you
what
make Bone Apple tea?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He had a lot of audio equipment already, like mics and stuff.
Yeah.
Which was super convenient.
Yeah, that was definitely, I think the biggest thing for me that going into it that I think was the advantage is that I had been doing audio production since I was 15. So I had a really deep rooted history of recording bands and hip hop artists and there was a stunt for a little bit where I would just have people come in and they would only do vocal covers. So I had years and years of experience of just working with a vocal. So I think when it came to doing podcasts, I was like, oh, wow, this is easy. And I knew exactly what mics to get. If you're looking at microphones, you don't need to go out and buy an SM7B to have good sounding audio. The biggest tip I have for a lot of new podcasters is just get a cardioid dynamic microphone. Because that's just going to give you, negative response from the back end, meaning anything behind it's going to be washed out. And then everything in front of it and closest to the mic is going to be the loudest, right? So that's kind of like...
that's exactly what we got.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of like, and then there's levels to these things. But pretty much what it took for us, I think we both got master's degrees in biomedical engineering. So we both kind of thought like, oh, our show should utilize our smarts to like help break down things that are like, hard to understand for people. Yeah. And try to make it as broken down and easy to understand as we possibly can, because we also, I think Adam and I are decent conversationalists. And so that was like something we were like, oh yeah, we can like, we can be funny about it and people can learn about red meat and people can learn about green juices and creatine and they can learn about all these sort of like various topics and whatnot.
Yeah. What's up?
Did you guys ever take a class on that? They had a class for that at UConn.
On
breaking
what?
Down. Well, it was called scientific writing and neurobiology.
No.
That was the whole class was literally breaking down. I mean, I had to take it was part of my major, so the whole class was just breaking down complicated stuff, and for us it was neurobiology subjects, and making it progressively easier to understand. So it was like started off as like a scene. Whoa. We lost Adam's video feed. There we go. And he's back. So it started off as like you take your senior level class to break it down for like a freshman in college all the way down to like an 8th grade reading level.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
I didn't take anything. Sorry. Were you?
No, that was it. I was just asking if you like when you're talking about the concept for Bone Apple Tea, I'm like, oh, I literally took a class that was that concept. So I didn't know if like it came from the UConn time or not. That's all.
No, it's more so just like a lot of the stuff. Well, for the most part was like health and fitness related, but we did a bunch of random things like do video games make kids violent? Like we did an episode on that, like a bunch of stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that was like one of our first episodes. That was like
the
way back.
No,
dude.
By the way.
Yeah, the answer was
definitely no.
Yeah,
and like and just like, but the thing is because we were doing so many episodes, it was like, and it's like it takes a lot of time to read through all that stuff. And a lot of time, like after a while, it was like, especially because, we work for a government contractor. Like I work a shitload. Like I work a lot of hours, especially like back then too. It was like we would always release an episode, but like some of them felt kind of like shortchanged because just didn't have the time to dive into everything. And I knew it too. Like it's like we would put together a thing and like I already know, like, yeah, if I had more time, I would look more into this. And I would always have like questions upon questions of like, well, if I wanted to make sure that, wanted to know about a subject, like these are the questions I would have. And if I wanted to know the reason behind why something is happening, there's a series of questions in your head that you would think logically you need to answer. And I would know like, well, we're not going to touch on these. I just don't have the time to go through it.
Yeah.
So I think go ahead. Sorry, Marcus.
No, I was just going to say, I remember when you guys first started your podcast, Nick came over to my old house and we were talking about, we were talking about how you guys were starting a podcast. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. Cause I encourage everybody, or we encourage everybody to start a podcast.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just start talk about it. The first episode's always going to suck ass.
It can't possibly be worse than ours.
Yeah. So. It can't be worse than ours with the squeaky chair.
We
right?
actually had
in the game full blast.
we actually had 3 episodes that we recorded prior
Just
to
like test
releasing.
episodes.
Yeah, and they were bad. I think the thing was is that we would get to a blank spot and then not know what to say. And then we were like, oh, and then laugh through it, but it was just bad. So we just ended up not airing those first few episodes.
Yeah,
But,
that was
There.
kind of like Nick's first 3 streams. Like the first
my
5
God.
streams of Nick, first 5 of them, they always said test, and everybody was like, enough with the test streams. Your stream is fucking fine. Just click go live for real. Like, but what I was going to say is
I was scarred from the podcast.
when your show first came out, I enjoyed it. And I said to Nick, I remember this like it was yesterday. I was like, holy fuck, who do these guys, think they are? They're fucking recording so much. Like, I can't even keep up with their episode content because it's
Like they're
so
gonna-
much. It's boom. But like every day it was a new episode in the beginning. And I was like, man, I would be burnt the fuck out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was exhausting. And I was like, man, how do they do it? And I didn't know you guys then. So I never got to ask you that question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Okay, go ahead.
but so my question is, sorry, before you answer, is did you guys at any point starting off, like I'm going to use the streaming as an example. When you first start streaming and you're trying to make affiliate on Twitch, you stream a lot and your excitement level is up. So you have that energy, but the long-term play is not streaming every day because it's exhausting.
Yeah.
At what point did you guys say maybe we should slow down as many episodes? Because it sounds to me like you guys were already thinking that because you were doing so much.
So, like about a year in,
About a year
probably,
in, yeah,
I
somewhere
think.
around there.
I mean, I pretty much was like, dude, like,
Yeah, we
should
gotta cut the shit,
episode
yeah.
counts
Yeah.
at least to like once a week,
Yeah.
and then it was like, hey, let's do every other week as informative. So like we have an episode that's informative, and then the next week it's us just bullshitting, because that was kind of like a break week because it was very easy to do those.
Yeah, we would just like I would essentially how those episodes were is I would look up a bunch of random shit and I would essentially present it to Adam and he would react off it. And it was the easiest thing ever because and he would sometimes bring stuff, but it was mostly me.
Yeah.
And then like we would just riff off it for like an hour or slightly less. And those were the easiest because we didn't have to look anything up or do like any work really. But it also gave us enough time to put more work and effort into actually diving into research papers for the informative
like
episodes.
you said with the whole like, because then it's technically every 2 weeks we're doing the informative ones, like kind of like you said, Nick, with like, oh, if it's every 2 weeks, like you don't have any. So like it ended up and that was like, just because every week, dude, it takes a lot of time to go through all that information and like you want to do a good job. So like that was, and like definitely,
we also separated it out by eventually doing interviews too.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we started to, I think, groove into like, oh, these interviews are fun. Like we did a bunch of hip hop interviews with like, if you look at some of the earlier ones, like with Black Picasso and Jay Ling and Kinga and all those ones, a lot of these rap artists, we would have them do a freestyle at the end of the episode. And that actually became a really awesome segment of ours. Another good one was 2Butta. He did a really good job. 2Butta, though, the interview wasn't that great because you'd ask him a question and he'd be like, yeah, it's pretty much the same. I'm like, all right. And I was expecting him to talk for at least 5 minutes on that one.
Yeah. We're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the question that is so specific that I'll never forget because every other artist that we've ever interviewed, I would ask this question and it would send them on a whole tirade, right? I asked him, so compared to when you first started music and now, what are some things that sort of like changed about you as an artist? And he's like, no, it's pretty much the same, period.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Dude, yeah.
He was smoking a blunt the whole time too.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that'll do it.
It's interesting because it's tough with like sometimes with musicians because you're like, all right, well, I don't want to ask the same question to every musician that comes on.
Yeah, that was the other
And
thing.
like
too.
with interviews,
See, I actually disagree with that.
You
100%.
We
can
do
and
that
you
every
do.
week.
right?
Every week we do that.
Yeah,
And
you
you
can, but like we like really natural ways of asking questions. So like we now rope questions into the conversation. Like I don't walk into any interview now with any questions that I have prepared. Every question that comes up is something that I improv based
Same.
off the conversation.
Yeah.
And I
think
find
we do that also, but we definitely have a
Yeah.
script.
Yeah,
we have a script because we're idiots
and lazy.
and lazy, and it's just talking points. Like how we get there, it's fine.
That's true.
yeah, right.
You know what
right,
I mean?
Right.
But like, I'm going to go to like the GDC podcast. What's really awesome about their show is they call it signature questions, right?
Yeah.
And it's basically, you guys want to explain what signature questions is? I'm going to talk about your show like it's mine.
Go ahead, Hazel.
Well, they're basically just like questions that we ask of every guest. One of them is,
Okay.
what's your gamer tag? Where'd it come from? What's the, origin?
What's
story
behind it?
that?
See, I like that.
Exactly.
That's cool. That's a
yeah,
good.
and I feel like that makes a lot of sense for your type of show too.
And we do
Exactly.
have like
Did you wait?
big
did you ask me
questions that are recurring questions.
Yes,
they did,
Nick, we asked you that question.
Vernosaurus.
No, that's on PlayStation.
Now, my favorite question.
Because I like dinosaurs and my name is Vern.
Yes.
My favorite question.
dinosaurs. Sorry.
You know what's sad? I made that like in college too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sick. That's the best.
I think I had a few adult beverages when I made that gamer tag, but
Nah.
Was
Well,
that
me and
before or
Gator.
after you pissed all over your room? Or is that...
okay, that's for after these questions.
wait.
Okay, do you want to get into? I was going to say we can do,
we're not going there right now.
We'll do that as a post segment.
Sorry.
We'll get back to that, but I feel like
It's okay,
Gator
what
has
were you
something to
saying?
say.
I was just going to say, Hazel and I usually have our favorite signature question that we look forward to. I think yours is probably what's your motto or mantra, right? Is that
that's
your
my
favorite
other
one?
Yeah. What's a motto?
The one I
to
love-
live by?
And people always, just like your rap artist, I'll go, what is one thing about you that our community may not know about you? And they'll go, well, I'm pretty much an open book. And then they'll sit there and start thinking about it. And then you'll just find out something so cool about them.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Right.
Like it's one person's like, I have a third nipple, and it's like, what?
Dude, I have 4 nipples.
Yeah, Adam's like a
Can
dog.
confirm.
Yeah. Wait, that's good though. I kind of like that. I do kind
I
of want
do.
to start like doing something like that where it's like a kind of just like interesting, not related to what the person does at all. Because when I think about guests, like every time I have a guest on, I'm like, okay, well, as a listener, like how would I like what's something of value I can extract from who I'm interviewing that would provide value to the listener. Like,
what they
this-
might not already know.
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
About the
oh,
guy.
this guy like is a stunt actor that's been in a bunch of movies. Like, how the hell do you even get into stunt work?
yeah,
Like, if
also-
you wanted to start that,
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
just stuff like that. Like, all right, what's like something that somebody would be really useful for somebody that's just trying to do that and has no idea where to start. Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. But I do wish we had something where it was like a kind of open ended, like get the person to think just about themselves and not so much about like maybe what
Right.
they do.
Yeah,
Well,
no, that's
right.
and I think like to some extent, there's probably a few base questions that I have, which is like, like for artists, it's like, oh, like how's live shows? Like, what are you doing to keep up with the times? Stuff like that. Like, what do you got coming out? But I do like that you have a few like preloaded ones that like you do ask every single person, because then if you are a fan of the show that they're listening to, they're going to be anticipating that one
Yeah, something
question.
to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause-
well, I'm gonna ask one because all of you have answered it, but one.
Except for
Adam,
Adam.
who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Who's my favorite Star Wars character?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Ah.
That's one of our signature questions. Quote, unquote.
Signature question.
Yeah. There's
I'm
another
pretty
one, but
I'm pretty sure I say Obi-Wan. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you
I was thinking. Honestly,
don't give him an out.
Yeah, don't give him an out. Like,
Sorry.
oh,
no.
Randy,
No.
Randy,
Sorry.
You've been on the
guys.
show.
Okay.
I didn't want him to say
him off the
my
show.
character.
Here's the
out.
door.
But
Give
but
him the
now I
red
can't-
card.
Now
He
I
got the
can't
red
say
card.
Obi-Wan.
He's getting
Oh
like-
yeah, fuck. I guess I fucked it up. I totally fucked it
Now
up.
I can't even say it.
His favorite character is Jar Jar Binks. Don't even let him.
Yeah.
All
I mean, yeah, dude, you kind of. That
Sorry.
was kind of it.
Sorry.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
See, it was gonna be something cool.
no, I
And
feel like it's
like
got to
it's-
be Obi-Wan. He's just like reliable, It's
Fuck,
so
dude.
reliable.
Yeah,
I
Right?
think
fuck
that was
it
my
up.
answer.
I fucked it up.
It's just like you see him and you're like, nice. Like he's kind of like
Nice.
he's like a safe character. You're like, oh well, Obi-Wan's not gonna die. Like he's not, I mean, and then he
Yeah.
dies. But like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you see him and you're like, all
Yeah,
right,
he'll get it
well,
done.
they're fine. Obi-Wan's there. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like a very like comforting character.
Yeah.
he's the Jedi.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he's
is.
just
He's
the
the-
man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hold on.
I'm
Now I
ar-
need to know all your favorite characters.
All right. Let's see. Guardian Downcast, folks. You want to go first?
I think
I
I said
remember.
Obi-Wan when I answered it.
Remember.
I think you did too.
I love
Hazel, what-
I've always liked I like Guinness. I like them all.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
It's a
what
solid
all I
character,
said.
man.
Well, what would you say right now?
What would I say
Mine
right
changed,
now?
I think.
Right now, I probably have to go with probably
Jar Jar.
Mandalorian.
Ooh,
Jar
I like
Jar.
that.
Mm,
Yes,
I like that. It's a new age one.
Yeah.
Great answer. What I remember my original. I changed mine recently, and I remember what
You
I said.
change it every fucking week. Like I don't know how you can do that. Like
the monk guy from Rogue One.
Yeah, like
The monk-
he's pretty
I am
good,
the
dude.
force.
There
The
you
force
go.
is with me.
The Force is with me.
Fantastic.
Marcus, what's yours?
oh, mine's R2D2. R2D2.
Yep, that's a
He's
fucking
always
great
there.
answer.
He's always hanging out. He's always there when somebody needs him. He doesn't need the force. He doesn't need to talk. You can just always count on that guy to be there, and that's who my favorite character is.
He does have a
that's a good
shining
answer.
moment in episode 3 too, when he's interacting with all the droids when they're trying to storm the capital ship in that opening scene. He like sprays oil all over him and then lights him
Yeah.
on fire with a jetpack as he
Yeah,
goes
He's
away.
the man. Yeah.
Yeah,
He does it a
pretty-
lot.
Yeah,
He repairs things. He hacks terminals every movie. It's great.
yeah.
I'm still
Yeah.
trying to
R2's the
figure
man.
out how he got through that desert in Tatooine in New Hope.
He's a
just kept
crafty
rolling.
bastard.
Yeah.
I mean, how
We
do
don't-
wheels work in the desert? I'm sorry.
It's an even bigger question for BB-8
He has
though, to
BF
be
Goodrich
honest.
tires on it.
Like I
Yeah.
can actually believe R2D2 going through sand more than I can BB-8, a giant
Really? Oh,
perfectly
yeah, yeah.
spherical object.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Like
zero
metal
traction
sand
there.
under his head and the
Must
ball,
have Teflon on that. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. dude.
Something.
All right,
Like a
Nick,
cat's
just give
tongue.
him the quick answer, the real answer. Like there's really only one.
I don't have a real answer. There's no quick answer when I pick my favorite character, but it's actually a character from Legends.
Prisoner
Darth Bane.
Leia.
Nope. Great. Slave Leia. No, it's Darth Bane. So Darth Bane is the
Darth
Sith
Bane?
Lord. First of all, I'm a dark side person. I like all the. If I was a
Oh,
Force
shit.
user, I'd be all dark side all the time.
Nice.
But
Nice.
My favorite character is Darth Bane. Darth Bane is the original Sith from what is now Legends that initiated the rule of 2. So previously in the Old Republic, there was a whole lots of Sith. And they were always infighting. They never got the leg up on the Jedi ever because they're always competing with each other and backstabbing each other and all that fun stuff. So Darth Bane is like, fuck that. He gathered all the Sith together, killed them all in one shot, and said, I'm the fucking Sith now. He initiated the rule of 2. So he said, I'm going to have an apprentice, as you all know, and that's going to covet my power, and eventually that my apprentice will overthrow me and kill me. Well, the cool thing is there's a trilogy of books that you can read or listen to on Audible, like I did, about Darth Bane. But at the end, he's trying to learn something called essence transfer, which would mean when his apprentice tries to kill him, he transfers his being into them. And now he essentially takes over their body and their soul
wow.
or whatever.
Cool.
Wow.
So what's cool about that is that legend story, it leaves it vague at the end of the book as to whether or not he successfully did that to his apprentice. And then in Rise of Skywalker, when Palpatine's like, I am this, all of the Sith, I am the Sith, and you got all the Sith Lords before him, it's kind of leans into that where it's like, oh, Darth Bane from way back when, who's now canon because he shows up in Clone Wars or Rebels, I forget which one.
Clone Wars.
I think it's Clone Wars. It's essentially like Darth Bane did essence transfer successfully and has done that every single time and is every Sith Lord we've ever seen in all of Star Wars.
And in
Interesting.
episode 9 in Revenge of the
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker, Palpatine, and yes, I say that wrong every time.
Palpatine.
Drink your Palpatine.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly why I say it. Anyways, he says, I am all the Sith. And that, like, for me, connects Darth Bane. That Darth Bane has been controlling everything since
the
day
whole
one.
time. Yeah.
Hey, you think if J.J. Abrams still had control of Star Wars, the next movie would just be the Death Star power and a pistol? Like, because that guy just doesn't have any
Oh,
ideas.
the power of the Death Star and a convenient new package.
Yeah, dude. Like Jesus
A fleet
Christ.
of ships.
A fleet of ships.
Oh, shit.
All with Death
A
Stars.
fleet of Death Stars.
Wow.
It was like, okay,
All right, dude.
what's going on?
All right.
Fucking
Where's
relax. Someone
All right,
doesn't know
so-
Star Wars. That's what happened.
Listen, JJ Abrams did a good job with the first episode. Listen,
Sure.
Which one? A New Hope?
He was dealt with a
New
shitty
Hope.
script, and they said,
Remember
Here's
the
the
last,
script.
last
He
director
looked at
took-
him.
last director quit, remember? Mid show.
yes.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, they knew it was shit. He knew it was shit. He polished the turd as best as possible.
I mean, I still
think
enjoyed
it-
all those movies.
Yeah,
You know?
I still had my fun.
I
I
know.
think I
Well,
actually
for
had
10
high.
minutes.
I had high promise for the 9th one in the first 30 minutes, right up until right up until Rey shoots lightning out of her hand when they're both trying to pull the ship together or whatever.
Mhm.
I was in it all the way up until that moment.
Oh,
I think up until
Yeah,
there, because like I
me
really
too.
liked all like the Millennium Falcon jumping. I think that was in that movie too, right? They were like
Yeah,
jumping
that was
from,
cool.
Yeah, there was a
The
lot of
micro
really
jumps or whatever.
yeah. There was a lot of cool
I forgot
stuff
what I forgot
there.
what it's called.
But after it was just
Yeah,
as soon as we got
like what?
yeah, as soon as we got to it's been Palpatine pulling the strings the whole time.
Yeah.
Might as well have been
Yeah.
puffing on a
Somehow,
cigar.
That
You'd
it's
never
a line
guess.
from Poe, actually.
Yes,
Somehow,
it is, dude.
Yeah.
Palpatine
Yes.
returned.
Yes,
And then
dude.
like
God damn it.
that's true.
Fuck.
And then Snoke, like you're like, oh, it's Snoke, holy shit, and then he just gets stabbed and dies, and I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, what's going
Like,
on?
why
Yeah.
did they just
that
build
was
this
in
guy up?
the previous movie.
Yeah, that was
But
in the eighth one.
But,
Yeah,
but
eighth
what
one.
I'm saying is if J.J. Abrams had control of
For the whole-
for all three trilogy, with all three movies, I think it would have been a better outcome.
Yeah, of course.
Mm.
Rather
You
than-
at least have the same like
Vibe.
idea
Yes.
Yeah.
throughout.
Luke Skywalker would have dominated as a Jedi, as an old man, like Ben Kenobi.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
I think I agree. I think it's just when we started getting to the each one of these Star Destroyers has a Death Star attached to it. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
guys, you lost me.
flag on the play.
Yeah, because like,
Yeah.
dude, I mean, they spent that was the whole they had to have a whole moon-sized station to do one, and then they had a whole planet to do multiple planet killings, and then they're like,
Right.
nah, I don't think you understand this technology about Death Stars, but it comes in
We've come
smaller
a long way
packages.
in the past 10 years.
In the past 10 years, Death Star technology has gone crazy small.
Moore's law, man.
Yeah, Moore's Law. Some salesman came by. I was like, I don't think you guys understand, but you guys
Yeah,
could be doing
it
this
was-
on a much
it
smaller
definitely-
scale.
It definitely like went off the rails a little with that. And then Palpatine is just like summoning thunder from the sky like he's Thor. And you're like, why is this even who is this old fucking how old is this guy now?
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah,
is
you know what? To your point about the ships all being the power of the Death Star, I guess last thing before we move on from this, I don't mean to beat this dead horse too much.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But like
yeah,
they
yeah.
literally harvested the planet Ilum to make it into Starkiller Base, and Ilum was like the source of all the kyber crystals, right?
Yeah.
So they had to. So in order to get that power, they had to make a whole planet's worth of kyber crystals into one thing to get that destructive power. So where the fuck did they get all the kyber crystals to make that whole fleet?
I don't know, man. The dark side, you know.
Yeah.
Magic of movie
just,
making.
just ask whoever wrote the ninth one, dude.
Wait.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
though?
an
Yeah.
easy answer.
What elsewhere? Like
3D printers.
okay,
There you go.
all right.
All right.
you
Great
go.
segue. We'll
I don't
segue
know
out
why
of
we
that.
didn't see that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Obvious. So obvious.
The next game, the next movie. Oh my God! The power of the Death Star in the palm of my hand. It's just Doc. It's Otto Octavius shooting it out of his tentacles, dude. Just blowing up planets with his tentacles. Sorry, they
Oh
own
my
Marvel
God.
now, right? So might as well do
Yeah.
a cross.
Yep.
It's a crossover.
I'm already
The
writing this
multiverse.
in my head, though. Okay, it's like
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
shows up.
kids, and then they,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
fly little X-wings up his arms.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, he's like King Kong swatting at him.
You know, the thing that's special about doing a podcast, and I think having numerous guests, and we can all agree, is each guest brings a different flavor to the show, right?
Mm.
In this case, we have 6 people on this podcast that all have a different personality, that all podcast in a different way
Yep.
or in their own way, but
Yeah.
we come together to do this. Do you find that you enjoy your co-host as much when you do a solo podcast, just you guys, or do you always enjoy having a guest more?
Oh, that's a tough question. I think like it's funny. Some of the funniest times I've had has been just with Adam and I.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can attest to
That being said, like having a guest is entertaining in its own way because me and Adam spend we live together, right? So like we spend so much time together that having someone new come in does bring like a whole new fresh air, and like I'm learning things that I didn't know about this person like at all. But
Mhm.
the hardest laughs are when it's just Adam and I usually.
Well, I mean, the reason your listeners are tuning into you is not because you're a guest. It's because of you guys, your personalities, the way you guys work together. I mean,
yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, the interviews are nice. The interviews I think of as like icing on the cake. But the problem with an interview or bringing a guest on is you have to kind of step aside and let them tell their story, and you can't interact as much as you want to.
Wait a minute,
We
Gator.
don't do that.
Wait, Gator. You make sure you always get your point across.
Oh, well, maybe. I'm
Yes.
the editor. I mean,
Yeah.
you can say all you want. I'll make sure I try to get it in for you. No,
That's
I'm
a good
serious.
speech,
No,
Marcus.
we're
No, but I do what you. I do know
Yeah.
what you mean. I do know what you mean.
But now I got it. Now I have to say this, Marcus and Nick. The episodes where I know it's just like this last 2 weeks, this next week, it's just going to be Hazel and I as well. We kind of took a break from having guests because you do get burnout. I mean, bringing a guest on all the time, you kind of want to shake things up. But I look forward to the ones where it's just me and Hazel because we basically have this are steering the ship. We can decide where we want to take it. Don't get your. He's already got a big enough head. We don't need to add anymore. but no, I mean, I'm serious. I really look
It's
forward
that pixel
to.
schlong.
I really look forward to solo shows where it's just Hazel and I.
No, I do too. I think
That was
the
the
beauty of
model.
those solo shows is like having them kind of infrequently, right? Like
Yes.
it might be good when you start to get the chemistry started. I mean,
Right.
obviously, if you're picking a co-host, you have kept some kind of chemistry to talk.
Yeah.
But like
100%.
me and if it was just the Nick and Marcus show every week, it would get boring. It would get
Yeah.
a little
Get that
tough.
right.
Not boring because we're always ridiculous, but like it would be tough structurally. But because we have guests all the time, when it is just me and Marcus, it's a home run. It's great.
Right,
I
right.
love those shows.
Right.
I think they come out great. I think you and I have a fun time. You know, it's especially nice to get a break from that when you have like a guest that talks for like 3.5 hours and just like
Oops.
takes over the whole show. You know,
we've had
just
those.
like
We had those.
blabbering on and on.
And is like strikingly handsome, and it's tough.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And has to make sure his camera is at the perfect angle for his. but seriously, I do agree. Some of the most fun times we've had is definitely just us.
Yeah.
But something that has come up, and it's actually becoming more relevant now, that I was never afraid to do a show solo.
Yeah.
If Nick can't be there, or Nick has even recorded a show without me, and we've made it almost entertaining. And I would say after the 4.5 years that we've done this, we almost have a go-to third host that fills in whenever we need.
Yeah.
And
Or a couple rotating crew of folks, essentially.
right, but really A-Trax has really taken that crown.
Agreed. Yeah.
And
agreed.
he's got a great voice. He understands the show. He flows really well with my personality.
Definitely.
And it becomes almost like that silent third host. And Nick and I have talked about, do we just do a 3-host show with no guests
Right.
and make it that way? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think we've decided against it because we've met so many cool fucking people
Yeah.
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
this process. And everybody has, and we ask the same questions. I think there's 7 questions. Every single guest gets asked the same 7 questions because we don't want Hazel's interview to be different than Randy's. You know, the answers are different every time, but we want that experience to be the same. So like when somebody listens to the show and they hear, oh, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? And 2 psychopaths say pistachio, but everybody else is pretty normal.
Yeah.
You know, we want that to be involved in the show. And
Yeah.
yes, if you like pistachio ice cream, you are a psychopath.
Well,
I mean,
okay, it's
whose
okay
favorite
to
ice
like
cream just
pista-
isn't cookie dough, though? I feel like it's,
that is
Hey.
definitely the number one answer. If
It's
we've
gotta
gotten
be,
is cookie
right?
dough.
Yeah, it's got to be
What's wrong
like
with mint
that.
chocolate
Moose
chip?
tracks.
It's
Or,
gross.
Mint chocolate
No.
chip, cookie dough, cookies and cream. We get a lot. That's the big 3.
Neapolitan.
My favorite is vanilla.
I remember you
Vanilla?
saying that.
dude, yeah, you
Oh
and my little
God,
brother, man.
yeah.
All I can picture is my little brother. We go to the craziest like ice cream stops all over the country, and he's like, "I'll have
He's
a
like,
vanilla milkshake." I'm like, "Fuck, dude."
Yes, that guy is my
Like
hero.
that- dude, that's like going to like the nicest restaurant ever, and you're like, "Yeah, I'll have the chicken nuggets, thanks."
Yeah,
I was like, I have
exactly.
chicken tenders,
Exactly.
please.
Chicken
No,
tendies,
it's not.
please.
Kids menu.
I
but
want
like,
my tendies.
there's nothing
my
better than
tendies.
vanilla ice cream. Like, all I need is vanilla ice cream. It's perfect. Why fuck it up? Like, Why do I ever want raw cookie dough in anything? Like that shit's gross.
Because it's
I'm with you,
delicious.
Marcus.
What do you mean,
Do I have
dude?
to
That is,
answer that?
that is the worst take you've
Yeah,
had in
exactly.
the
Why
history
not?
of your show, dude. Why did
Get
that,
out.
dude?
Okay,
That's
but
flag
here's-
on the play, man. Why
I'm
would
with
you ever
Marcus.
want raw cookie dough?
Yeah,
That's like why
flags
would
and
you? That's like
soccer
asking
cards.
why would you ever want raw sex, dude? Get off this show.
I feel like
no, that's completely different.
Marcus, same thing.
Sure,
Marcus,
sure. Try and
Marcus.
justify it.
Marcus, I feel like that's the same as like, hey, what do you like better, podcasting solo or with a guest? It's just different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like podcasting solo, that's your vanilla. But like, hey, if Cookie Dough comes along and you got a guest, you know, it switches it
It's
up.
pretty dope.
Well, that's
You know?
why.
You always got
That's
vanilla.
why that question. Yeah, that's why that question always feeds.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
everybody has a different opinion. Just we tell everybody there is only one wrong answer, and the wrong answer is pistachio. Like the grossest shit ever.
Have you ever had someone say pistachio?
Yeah, we had
Two.
2 people.
Wow.
We thought one person said it, and we thought they were a psychopath. And like we told this guest, I don't remember who the second one was. We're like, "Oh, what's your favorite ice cream?" They're like, "Pistachio." We were like, "Get the fuck out! Like, this podcast is over." Like,
Yeah,
can't
close
even
the door.
continue.
Dude, it
Dude,
was
you just
so
like
weird.
immediately end the show. Like,
Don't say anything.
But you know, what I was saying is, you know, guests, and as it's gone on, like we've evolved.
Yeah.
I think getting content creators as the guests is awesome because they're trying to do the same things that you're trying to do. And in hearing somebody's story, because everybody like different personalities, a streamer, you could have 10 streamers in a room and everybody streams a different way.
Right.
Some
Right.
like Chimeri is out of control, hype
The whole time.
from the moment he clicks go live until the moment he ends. It's like insanity. And on his
I don't-
24-hour streams, he's like that for 24 hours.
I don't
Like I
know
would
how he
sleep
does
for
that.
like 6
Cocaine.
days.
that's how he does it.
No.
It's cocaine.
Dude, so
he acts like that, but he actually we know him personally. He does not do
Oh,
drugs.
okay.
so
But
how
my
did,
God.
when you guys started your Discord, like how long did that take to like get going before you actually had traction, like had people in?
Yeah, because we don't have a Discord,
It was-
but I've thought
yeah.
about it.
You
Um,
should.
So I would say, I'm going to say 2 parts. We've had our Discord forever because it used to be the place where we connected guests. Because originally, when we started the show, and actually, this is going to segue into our the question about how we record.
Yeah.
When we first started recording the show, we asked our guests to record their own audio on Audacity
It's a terrible
because
idea.
we didn't know
Jesus.
any other way. And that
Yeah.
another podcast that we are friends with, that's how they did it. And we were like, oh, let's just copy that.
Yeah.
So, you know, let's say Randy and Adam, you came on, you guys would use your own Audacity, record your own file, and then send us the file.
God,
It was a terrible way to do it.
I'm
Yeah,
throwing up in
especially-
my mouth right now. Just
Yeah,
the
that's
thought
a,
of
that's
that.
a tough way to
No, it
edit
was-
a show.
Right.
You're telling me.
Yeah, he does that. But my point is, I don't even know what we were talking about.
The Discord.
Recording.
Oh yeah, so Discord. So we used to we would invite you into the Discord and get everything set up, walk you through setting up Audacity, doing all that stuff. And once Audacity starts running, we would get rid of Discord and shut that off.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, so it was just basically like a hub for our guests.
We did it through YouTube for a while too. It was or Google
Oh no, it was
Google
Hangout.
Hangout.
Google Hangout.
Yeah,
right?
that's
got
no
rid of
longer
that
a thing.
yeah.
And that was great because it recorded the audio and you saw the video, but they got rid of that.
They did get rid of that. I
And then
forgot.
when that
Mm.
happened, that's when we went into a tailspin, and that where Zencaster came from. But I'll have Nick explain Zencaster in a second. But the Discord, and then one day I told Nick, I said, Nick, I'm going to turn the Discord into a community. He's like, okay. And
Nice.
we both say it still to this day that we never thought it would be what it is.
I feel like the Discord now is like the most vibrant
It is.
part of the show.
Right.
so
and
it's
like,
mostly guests you guys have had on.
No,
it's just
it's mostly fans, actually.
random. Like people, like, yes, of course, there's guests like GATR and Hazel are in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Randy's in it. And like,
Yep.
but like our claim to fame for our Discord is the database, and it's where we store the dad jokes.
Yes, that's right.
And,
That's awesome.
and let me tell you something. If
It's
you
every
scroll
day.
through that, like if you've never been in that, you can get lost in the database
For a
for at
couple
least
hours.
5 minutes. Like when you first get in, you're going to just start laughing because the shit is ridiculous.
It's all dad joke
awesome.
memes. The whole, it's like
Right.
hours of scrolling.
But it's also grown into a hub of the nerds community to
Yeah.
where when like the craziest thing is, I think it was like last week or the week before, one of our community members, friend of our show, Sovi, he was like, ding, ding, guys, it's 8:30. It's time to record your podcast, where we're not even going live.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like,
knows.
they're just like, hey, he pinged us and was like, let's go. Let's get this episode out so we can listen to it at work the next day.
Right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
awesome.
And that's really special. And I'll be honest, since we released our merch store, that has taken it to the next level, because when somebody gets your shirt,
Yeah, we have the
and
merch show
off, and you see
section.
somebody that listens to the show or streams or plays the games with us, whoever gets a shirt or a mug and they post a picture of it, you're like, holy shit.
Right.
That's a great
Like, that's
idea.
real.
That's a great
You know
idea.
what I mean? And because if somebody's taking money of theirs to buy my Pog shirt that has my face on the right upper chest, like, take a fucking picture, because that's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Show that
Yeah,
shit
that's
off.
Yeah.
But I don't know I can't answer how long it's taken us to get over 300 people in the Discord. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't remember. We weren't
But
really keeping
it's-
track of that.
But the people that are there are fucking awesome, and they engage. And
It's like daily.
I think that's the special part of it, is it keeps the show going when you're not recording a show.
Right.
Yeah. So
And
do
you have
guys-
us streaming, so like the face is always there.
Right.
I was gonna say,
I like that.
were you guys like super active in the Discord when it first got, or were you guys just like hands off?
Oh,
and
we're very active now.
okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't stop. Like, I might have
Marcus is constant.
I think, yeah, I'm constantly on it.
You've been messaging in the Discord throughout this show.
Right. People asking me questions. So somebody's learning how to stream,
Yeah.
and they're going through some heartaches of learning, like, hey, this isn't working. And I'm messaging them because, like, I don't want to leave them hanging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, there's not, like, you can mute your Discord too, so you could be in there. But like I'll give an example of like the Guardian Down Discord. I love it because they talk so much shit to GATR. It's the greatest
On the
thing
punching
ever.
bag.
Yes, but it's all out of fun and love.
It is.
But
It
it's
is.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but Marcus, when you hear that every day, eventually you start getting a little defensive. But I realize
Well,
it
you
is
should
out of
be.
love.
Yeah, but you should be. But like, your response should always be the emoji of the middle finger. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Yeah, exactly. So that brings us back. How do you guys record, Hazel and GATR?
We do everything through Discord. We love Discord. In fact, have so many people that have boosted it. We get so much better bit rate when we record our audio. We can do video rooms too, just like we are right now. But like I said, I use OBS. I just capture whatever comes through my earbuds and whatever I put out of my mic. It's that simple. I keep it very simple. But we have like Hazel, we have like live events. We'll have live shows where double-digit people will come in and watch our show. And while they can't even see our faces. All they can see is our icon. It's called, what's it called, Hazel? The live event called
Live
Stage. Yeah, it's called Stage Channel. And we've done live shows in there. We do everything through our Discord, and we're active multiple times a day.
Oh yeah.
And the sound quality is good. We haven't had too many hiccups. I mean, wait a minute. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
It's been a really good experience.
So does Discord have a record button, or does
No.
or you got to use
Now,
OBS?
a lot of our fellow Discord people, communities like Guardian Hub and Two Titans and a Hunter, and a lot of related podcasts. We all have our Owl Sector Alliance network. We all kind of team together. We actually will.
They use Craig. They
use bots. Like you're using a bot right now. Basically, you're doing what Craig and Geark does. Two bots that hang out in your voice channel, and they record separate tracks, just WAV files, just like you are now. And then they'll combine them all together and overlap them for you, where it's real easy. I'm stubborn and old, and I won't do it because we've had bots drop out in the middle of podcasts before when we podcasted with these peeps. So I just do it the old-fashioned way. It's very archaic, I know, and it probably makes my job a lot harder. But I'm just so set in my routine on how I do stuff every week. Learning new stuff is so hard. And Discord is the bomb. We love it.
That's cool.
great.
That's nice.
What about you guys with Apple Tea?
So how it works is these microphones, go to that computer, and then I use Cubase. So Cubase is like, Pro Tools. It's like, any one of those types of programs.
Like Ableton, it's like a DAW. So
it's digital audio workstation. I like Cubase the most because I feel like it's a lot more intuitive than Pro Tools. That's just my own opinion, but that's just kind of what I like. And pretty much, I do all the edits in there. And as far as editing, the show is very, very simple. I mean, I pride myself on the fact that I don't know that we've ever truly edited an episode.
Yeah, like we haven't had to cut. Cut anything out ever. I don't think.
So like as soon as I hit record on the microphone, it's go time. It continuously goes. It's that one piece. The only thing that we do is after we record, we film the intro part. Yeah. So we do the whole episode, then we do the intro. I take the intro music plays. We have the intro like talk, like, oh, this episode, this is what we covered, and then it does a little boom I took a bass and just went and just like recorded that into my computer. That plays as the transition between the intro and then the rest of the episode. Then there's the outro, and then that's it. But everything's just through Cubase. Now I've got like a slew of plugins and stuff that I use for our vocals. Big fan of Slate Digital. Definitely look those guys up if you guys are into audio recording. I know you guys use Audacity, but if you ever feel like opening up something like Cubase, I definitely recommend it because it'll make your life a lot easier. And they have really cheap versions of it too. You can get like one that's like, I think like $100, and it'll be everything and more that you've ever wanted and needed. And if you ever wanted like advice or help, like feel free to reach out to me about that too. I would definitely love to talk about that or show you.
I use Audacity to edit and do my transitions and stuff. I use OBS to do all the capture.
To do the capture.
That makes sense.
I do the capture. I just capture a blank screen.
See,
and I convert MP4s to MP3s. I know I don't have to do that, but I do that just to clean things up, and then I throw it right into Audacity.
Yeah,
we have like I have like several files that I keep in folders, and then I'll just zip them in, clean them up, get all the noise suppression in there, and the raw audio is pretty bad, and then slowly start building. It's like building blocks. I'll just build my show up, transition to transition, each of our segments, get to our outro music. I always do a ton of outtakes at the end because our diehard listeners who listen to our show, I follow the Adam Carolla rule, where they always throw a random soundbite at the end of his podcast. I do the same thing.
That's fun.
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about recently, like dropping some sort of like project presets for podcasting in particular that would help people with editing and stuff, so that they could just be like, female dialogue, boop, boop, and they just double click and it has all of the various plugins for, Pro Tools, Cubase, across like a variety of things. I've thought about doing that because you can do a lot with stock plugins. You really can. But if you do have a few extra tools, you can do even more stuff, which is really crazy.
That's awesome.
I don't use any plugins.
I was just going to say, Marcus and I are laughing.
I'm laughing with you because I know what you're laughing about. I don't use any plugins. I don't even know which one even use.
Beyond anything I do.
I'm just going to say it. I don't even know what a plugin is.
So, so here, I'll get you started. So a plugin is like
we don't need to know.
I need to know. I need to know.
Yeah. So so a plugin.
I'm gonna hit the bathroom while you're explaining what a plugin is.
Okay. Do you think so? Like, I mean, you've kind of alluded to the idea that you know what a plugin is because you use compressors and limiters. Those are plugins. So anything that like is on the track that's affecting the track is generally a plugin.
Right. Okay.
So, a very typical way to process sound for a vocal is to go, compressor, EQ, and then out. If you're talking about noise signaling, one of the best plugins you can buy as a podcast, you could do all of your edits with it, would be the RX bundle by Isotope. That's IZOTOPE. Isotope.
Noise suppression package, RGX, RCX?
It's RX. So the RX bundle. Now, granted, there's going to be various levels of expenses in terms of like what comes with the RX bundle. There's like the premium package that's like, first of all, there's the ultra like production level, which is like $1,000. You don't need to buy that one. I would say I would say the most expensive you could go that would make sense would be the $500 package. That's going to come with de-reverb. That's going to come with RX dialogue denoise. That's going to come with spectral denoise. That's going to come with EQs, gains. That's going to probably come with it just comes with everything.
That's awesome, man.
And you can do the coolest part about the RX bundle, dude, is it has the track assistant. So much like they use Zencastr to automatically make edits, you can have the RX bundle analyze your audio and give you a suggested route for where you should start. Isotope, I think, makes probably some of the best plugins on the market right now, besides Steven Slate.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Welcome.
What I realize is there's so much more to learn.
Oh,
It
dude.
will blow my mind.
There's layers.
Yeah. If you ever want to pick my brain about it, feel free, dude.
All right,
I'm an open book.
I appreciate that.
But Nick, tell them about Zencastr and our.
Yeah. Hey, Nick.
So Zencastr's the greatest.
So if
thing
you
ever.
want a foolproof way to podcast, here we go.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
go to Zencast, ZENCASTR.com. Zencastr. Pay for the subscription that lets you do the post production. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Even us two idiots can figure it out. So what that lets you do is you send a link to the show, which is what we're using right now to record.
Right.
You can do audio and video recording. You can record the audio and just show the video. So like that lets the question I wanted to ask earlier, and I'll circle back to, is whether or not you guys ever do remote guests. But this software lets us do remote guests all the time, which is what we're using right now to record.
And we can have up to 8 guests.
Right.
8 individual tracks.
Right.
Nice.
So this automatically will time sync every single track, which is great. So that solves our previous problem of having everybody locally record. That was a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah, no
having
kidding.
to sync the time, sync all the tracks together. Yeah. And then also you can show video to make it like a FaceTime call. So when you have a remote guest, it's nice because you can actually see the person if they have a webcam, of course, and have a conversation with them. And it's a lot nicer than if it's just like an audio call. Or you can record the video, which is what we're doing today, because I know the gentleman from Bone Apple Tea would like to post this later.
Yes,
but,
thank you. Appreciate that.
But of course, this is easy for us because you can make footnotes, so you can put little text notes at different time points. We use that for our start and for our break times to chop stuff up later. And then also, if you pay for the little bit extra, you can run a post production, which like essentially cuts out a lot of the background noise if there's any. And also levels out, it's not the correct terminology, but levels out all the volume. So long as somebody's not too loud in clipping, if somebody is quieter than someone else, it'll level it out so everyone's
pretty cool.
sound the same.
And what's really good,
it's good enough for us and it sounds great.
And Nick breathes in the microphone.
I do a lot. That cuts that out.
And it cuts it out. And I think it's like
RX deep breath, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, again, this is... So it records, so your local recordings will all save to your computer.
Yep.
You guys can download it. So God forbid, like our bandwidth stops, you can download your own
individual tracks.
Yeah. Then if you want, we can download each individual track and then we can have it merged into one track.
Which is what we do.
Is what we do. And then the post-production, it comes out that way. We cut, paste, do our intro, outro, it breaks down an outro, and it's done.
Yeah.
And it takes like 20 minutes for them to do it. And the service is so cheap that I think we spent $100 on it, and it gave us like 90 hours of post-production.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's really
that's
worth
good.
It.
That's actually
no, it is worth it. I think if you don't have a ton of the wherewithal and maybe you don't want to put the time in to learn, like that kind of service is amazing. You know, because it can get really complicated. And it's like, you know, if I don't want to deal with that and I just want to do a podcast and I want it to sound as good, as quick as possible, like that's an amazing service.
Is anyone
sure
like good enough? Obviously, it's not going to sound as good as the professionally done version, but it's like the close enough, you know.
Like that, it sounds good. The mics sound good. It cuts out the background noise. I mean, the show is what it is, right?
Right.
Sounds good.
And
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
I think
And
lately your guys' show has definitely increased in quality. I think you guys got new microphones though too, so I think that's been
New
helpful.
mics, and actually, we started using Zencaster, is what you're noticing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, when we switched to Zencaster, it changed everything.
And
Yeah.
we used Zencaster for a few episodes, and then we started using the post production, and that made a giant difference.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. There's a lot you can do in post. It's just like pictures. If you take a regular digital photo and you never put it in Lightroom, you're just never going to see the full potential of what the photo can be.
What's Lightroom?
Lightroom is like a different version of Photoshop. It's by the same Adobe company, but it's like
It's like baby Photoshop,
Professional,
for
isn't
like
it?
batch processing.
Professional.
yeah, it's
So,
more like color
yeah.
editing and light editing.
We really wanted to use Adobe for the podcast audition, but like it's a monthly
Yeah,
cost.
it's
Yeah,
annoying.
it's
And
so
I'm like, I'm
expensive.
not I'm not subscribing to that
Yeah,
where right now you pay for Buzzsprout to upload your RSS feed, and like then you have Zencaster, and then you have this, and then you have that, and it's just like
website.
You wanna
Yeah,
click those
it's
domain
like-
service. They charge you like $100.
yeah, dude. I literally
Yeah.
just had to do that with fucking Premiere Pro because I accidentally forgot to fucking sign out of it. I did like a free
Oh.
trial of Premiere Pro, and then I
Yeah.
forgot about it, and now it was a like almost $90 charge just
Dude,
to
I
cancel
did
it.
that with Adobe Acrobat like PDF reader,
Ugh.
and I paid
Everything,
That's-
everything
Oh,
Adobe.
no.
is
$100 for a fucking
everything.
PDF to cancel a PDF reader
Yeah,
subscription.
it's like so stupid,
sick.
dude. Yeah, I really don't like Adobe's model, but I can't get away from Lightroom, so I gotta keep
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
Gotcha.
But your question was, do we do remote guests?
Oh yeah. Do you guys ever do that?
Yeah, we do that a lot more now because we've been interviewing EDM artists from like California and
Yeah.
Chicago and all this type of stuff. So how we do that is probably more complicated than it has to be.
It's over Zoom.
But it's over Zoom. I record it on Zoom, and then I have Zoom.
Use Zencaster.
Yeah, I know. It's funny that you bring it up. It's like maybe I should just switch to Zencaster and just have Zencaster printed out. But
Yeah, you don't have to use the post production. It'll give you the raw files, but at least it lines it all up nicely for you.
yeah, that is like, so the one thing is the newest version of Cubase has been amazing. So because I have to use Zoom for other things, I just already have the premium version of it. So I'll have
Okay.
Zoom print out the individual file. I'll take that file, put it in Cubase, and then
Okay.
then it's just like their track. And honestly, Cubase has been doing this amazing thing where it can, because oh my God, okay, get this. I literally put a set of headphones like this on a microphone. And so what happens is I have the audio from the mic onto another mic like that. It spits the audio, it records it into Cubase, and then I align it with the Zoom audio afterwards.
Yeah, it's
And
the
it
whole
actually, it sounds like a whole thing, but it's actually, if you think about it, not to toot my own horn, kind of brilliant. I'm using headphones as a speaker to record into Cubase,
Record it
and
into
then
Cubase.
and then
crazy.
lining it up with the actual raw audio from Zoom. And
Marcus's
then
head just blew up.
why?
yeah, and then
Why are you doubling the audio?
so I
just
double.
to get the video aligned.
It's
with
just to
the
get the
audio.
video line because we record the video locally. So because I record the video on 2 DSLR cameras, and
Use
then
Zencaster.
Zencaster.
but there's like the only thing is though is like it doesn't, like if you use this service and we record video
Yes.
here, the quality is not
Yes.
nearly as good because
Yes, it is.
like video wise.
Yeah, but it records it. So you'll see when this uploads, it's going to fluctuate while you're live. Like the audio quality, sometimes if you have really bad internet, also fluctuates in the conversation. But
Right.
when you save the file itself, it's perfect.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Like all of our video is going to be 1080p in 60 frames or whatever we're
what if it
recording at.
what if it breaks up like it is periodically? It'll smooth it all
No,
out.
because it saves it.
It's all encoded in the
locally.
Yeah,
locally
it
saves
saves
it.
it as well. But
I
when
gotta
it's
figure out how to
streaming
plug
to
the
us
Yeah,
as we're
cameras
in the
talking,
computer.
Right.
Yeah. that-
fluctuates.
I
Gotcha.
can look into that after this.
So it takes
Yeah,
your
it
local
might be,
camera.
that might be
recording.
worth looking into because like
Oh.
what
Yeah,
essentially
well,
what
I
happens
should-
now is like I throw everything into Final Cut Pro when I
Just a
do
bunch of
Mhm.
lining.
like the video
Yeah.
thing, and because we use cameras, like you got to realign the camera audio to the
The video?
the
Separate tracks.
professional audio.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
luckily, Final Cut Pro, it's the professional version of it. It has auto align, so it'll
Nice.
auto sync stuff, which is really cool. And then you can do
That's
multicam clips. And then I literally sit there and rewatch the show and flip between the camera angles myself.
Whoever's talking.
Well, see that in itself is different because you're doing that where
Me and Marcus are sitting next to each other.
Yeah,
That's high
and
level.
Right.
That's high
Calling it
level.
a day.
That's high
Yeah.
level
Yeah,
stuff.
that-
for me.
If you watch our show on YouTube right now, I think it's comparable to like any other professional podcast you would ever see, including like a Joe
Well,
Rogan
100%
in terms of quality. My goal with
Yeah,
the show was
agreed.
to essentially give the viewer as high level of quality as possible, such that if they didn't like the show, it's just because they didn't like the show. It was never because of a quality issue, which I was like,
Right.
all right, that's fair. If you don't like the show at that point, then you just don't like me, and that's cool. I get it. But I never wanted there to be like a quality barrier.
I totally get it.
But the Zencaster thing is actually pretty. It does have me interested. Like maybe I could optimize the way that I do this a little bit better if I tried.
I think
using
it'll at least help you. Now, you might not want to quote me on the video quality thing that I was saying, but I know because we haven't recorded video on here before. I don't think because we don't usually
No.
do that for the podcast. We'll just
Right.
do it with just the audio. But I know we've had audio glitches before where like someone's internet goes down for like a couple seconds and they sound like a robot to
Mm.
us live. But then when we go listen to the recording, it's perfect.
Oh, interesting.
Man, your video is fantastic. Super clear.
Thank you so
I'm
much, man.
thinking that like the same thing is going to be true with the video, where it's changing as we're talking, but in the end result is going to be good.
Yeah, I'll be
but-
curious because you are recording the video right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool to see like what we get on the other end. And do you know if Zencaster is recording everyone here?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Oh, see, that's cool
Okay,
too.
cool, yeah.
That's cool.
Using
I'm
our
definitely,
local. Yeah.
I'm definitely curious to see how it comes out, because what I'll try and do too, I mean, this is such a long episode, it'll take me fucking forever to edit the whole thing, but I'll try and I'll create like a video out of all this, and we'll see what we get.
I just subscribed.
it's-
I'll be waiting for it.
Here's
It'll be a longer edit. There'll probably be episodes in front of it,
Sure.
but
so we do this podcast, right? All of us do this podcast because we love it.
Yeah.
The question is do you guys monetize your podcast?
Well, that's a sore
we
subject.
don't.
no, we don't.
Whoop.
We
Would
we
love
just
to.
started we just started trying it. We've had guests and community members say, "Hey, you guys should monetize. I mean, you guys should do a Patreon." And in January, that's when I'm the impulsive one in the show. If you haven't figured that out yet, Hazel's the one that has to clean my messes up. I'll jump into something quick, and I bet you have ADHD. I bet you have it too. But anyway,
I mean, we both do, but
okay, yeah, I think we all do for gamers. But I'll say or blab or do something stupid, and Hazel will come back behind and go with the broom and dustpan but no, we started in January, and it's like when we started our Discord, it was myself, Hazel, and Easy, and we sat there and said, okay, what's up? We didn't. And here we are. We're over 300 members strong now too. And it just is word of mouth. We just found out that we weren't even able to be searched for Destiny podcast in Google because we didn't have a Destiny podcast in our name. Now we finally got that fixed. We have organically grown everything since 2019.
Oh, wow.
But we started a Patreon in January, and every month it grows. Every month it's gotten bigger and bigger, and it has paid for all of our premium services, like our SpeakPipe, like our hosting fees are enormous because I don't know if you'll notice our podcasts are extremely long and they're 128 kilobit processed in stereo.
yeah,
It's a lot of file size, and our
Yeah,
host
us too.
our host is Lipson,
Yeah,
and
we
they
do
base
Lipson,
everything
too.
on download size, and I have like their maximum package right now, so it adds up. So our Patreons pay for all of that for us now, which means all me and Hazel got to worry about is just sitting back and creating content and having fun, and it takes a lot of the pressure off.
Do you make like podcasts specifically for Patreon?
Yes.
Like you have to be
Yeah,
exclusive podcasts.
We have
like,
so
certain
many
episodes.
outtakes that we put them together, like 3 or 4 shows. We'll take all separate, like I'll sample outtakes from each of the shows, and I'll put them into like a bonus episode. We actually published one bonus episode to the public. If you look in our feed, you'll see it. And we just made a trailer for our podcast, and we that's one of our features of if patrons are going to go out of their way to pay and support our podcast, we're going to present content for them. And should I share it now, Hazel, about what we're doing this weekend?
Yeah, well, I mean, they were talking about evolving and everything else. I mean, this is just that.
Yeah, you're right.
So, yeah.
Hazel and I are starting another podcast. We're thinking about starting another podcast.
Whoa.
And it's going to be, it's very simple. It's, we're working on the title still, but he picks a gaming story, pop culture, entertainment, gaming, whatever story. I pick a story. That's it. We discuss, which is my favorite part of a podcast is discussion. And we will get into the pros and cons of each of the article we're talking about. Try to keep it under an hour if we can. We're gonna release it to our Patreons first and get some feedback and see, because they're our super listeners. They're the ones that really love everything we do. I mean, all of our listeners do, but they go out of their way to go that extra mile to just support us every way they can. And that it's only fair for us to release the content first to them and see what they think about it.
Mm-hmm.
An idea there for me that I'm thinking about is, do you really need a separate podcast for that? Or is that something that you guys could sustain on your own? Okay.
There's another podcast of in our gaming podcast universe of podcasts where they actually have a Star Wars podcast that they were first offering just to their patrons. Okay. And they actually branched out. It became so popular that they branched out and they have it as a standalone podcast now.
Oh, wow.
Hazel knows what I'm talking about. But that's kind of the model we're going to try. We're just dipping our toe in the water.
Okay. Very cool.
We are starting our Patreon.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So there's going to be 2 tiers essentially. One is just going to be because you want to support. It's going to be nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Essentially really cheap. And then Nick and I are very lazy. So basically what we're going to do is our Patreons will get the unedited podcast. So they'll get
all of the pre-show,
the break, and then whatever happens in the post.
Yep.
And they'll have that full audio. There will be no audio cues, nothing. It'll just be the raw sound.
Yeah.
And people will want to hear that.
Yeah.
Because some of the funniest shit that's happened on our podcast happens during the break.
The break and the pre-show, the break, and then the post after we stop is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's usually like when the mics are quote off. There's there's definitely a lot of funny shit that happens on.
Yeah,
exactly.
Every show,
So,
Hazel says, "Please tell me you were recording that."
Right.
Yeah. But that doesn't happen unless he's fearful that you're not recording that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I've actually started recording as well, just to make sure that I can cover his ass.
Yeah,
that's
hey,
all
it's
right.
good to have as a backup, man.
Yeah.
I will
One
say
podcast, we had a live show. Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt. We had a live show. And I looked down and we were 10 minutes into the just catching up with the guest. And I realized I looked at OBS and the red light wasn't on. I forgot to press my hotkey.
Yep.
Or playing with the computer, I accidentally stopped recording. I look back. So I just faded it in. Like, let's catch up to our live show. And just did a fade in with some music. But I said, Hazel, please tell me you're recording that. And he goes, I didn't get that one. And it just,
dude, I totally feel that. I totally feel that because, like, in the beginning, I didn't have this monster computer that I built. I was working out of a laptop that was really old. It was like a Lenovo Y50, but it was like super old. And that's what we were recording on. And every so often, it would get an audio dropout. So when it drops out, it would just stop recording altogether. But we couldn't tell because we would still hear a microphone signal in our headphones. So we just didn't know. So there's a few episodes in our earlier stages where it's just like it'll be perfect crystal clear quality and then camera quality, like camera audio quality. And it was just so bad to the point that I literally went out and I bought a separate little wireless remote controller to record us in the event that the computer shut down. Eventually, when I, got the beefcake Avatar computer back there, if you watch Always Sunny,
Avatar?
you know what I'm talking about. Do you guys watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I'm not up to speed.
It doesn't matter. But anyway, so Adam knows what we're talking about. So but yeah, when I got the new computer, I didn't have to worry about that anymore. But dude, there's way too many episodes where, like, I think Fruits and Veggies is a really good example of that. Where like halfway through that episode, which would have been a fantastic episode, it just like fires straight down into us sounding like we're underwater, and it's practically not even listenable anymore.
Yeah, we're gonna re-record that one. I think.
Yeah, actually, we should revisit it anyway. We're better podcasters at this point, but yeah.
Well, if you need a guest, let me know. I definitely
Dude,
don't.
yeah.
Why not?
We should at some point. For real.
Okay, I was kidding about fruits and veggies, but
Personally, I wouldn't put me on a show. It's just bad news.
Nah, dude,
Well-
Marcus, that's the reason why I want you on a show, is because you're bad news.
right, you're a great podcast guest.
Yeah.
We've been on other shows before.
All right. Our
You
new
host a
favorite
podcast.
time of the show.
you host a podcast. Of course, you would be a great podcast host or guest.
Right.
Nick is the talent. I'm just here. I just coordinate. Nick's the talent.
He's the wild card, bitches.
I disagree, Marcus. I've watched your
Wild card,
streaming.
bitches.
You are incredible streaming, man. That is your
Yes.
gift. He has so
Exactly.
much energy when it comes to streaming.
Yeah.
Dude, I can see it.
game streaming on Twitch. You do a good job,
I've
man.
peeped a few times. I've definitely been on there a few times watching Marcus. Sometimes when I'm like
Yep.
eating, I'll be like, "Oh, what's Marcus up to?"
Well, I will say that I do love it.
You are awesome. High five.
Yeah, like I do love streaming a lot because I'm doing the thing I love to do, which is play video games, but I'm also chatting with people.
Yeah.
I like the interaction with the chat is why it's really hard for me to do hard content because like when I'm super hyper focused on the game, I feel like I'm letting the viewers down because I'm not paying attention to them. I'm paying attention to the game.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's where
It's
that
tricky.
and that's
Definitely.
where that happy transition is. It's like I either have to say to the chat, like, tonight I'm focusing. I'm not going to be typical Marcus because I have to focus on the game, or just continue to be that casual player that doesn't really fucking care. And I'm just enjoying the game. But, anyways, I'm ready. You ready, Nick?
Of course, I'm
It's
ready.
working class questions time.
Hell yeah, it is. Let's go.
So, Stask asks, what is your ideal video game, even if it doesn't exist?
Whoa. Who wants to start?
Mm.
Should we
Uh,
start?
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
they should. No, you guys start.
okay.
Let her-
Well, I can go, but I already know.
I had to.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. One of my favorite games of all time is anything Metroid. So a
Ooh,
Metroid
okay.
game is kind of my bag. The newest game that came out, what was it even called? Dread was fantastic, and I loved it. My ideal game would probably be some sort of, you know how they did the Metroid Prime series, but I would love
Yeah.
to see more RPG elements to the Metroid series. I would love to see
You're
a
speaking my
skill
language.
tree. I would love to see, I love the weapons tree and like the abilities tree, but I don't know. I think if they added some sort of extra RPG layer to Metroid, I think that would be the most ideal game for me.
Anybody?
Oh, I can go. This
Go
is
ahead,
easy.
Nick.
So my ideal game kind of exists, kind of doesn't. My ideal game is a single player action RPG shooter from first person shooter. So like kind of like RPG styles of like Horizon Zero Dawn, or maybe like Shadow of Mordor, or like Shadow of War. It's the same series. But like kind of like something like Fallout also. So I like a first person shooter game mechanic wise in terms of combat style, but I also really, really, really love a first person or like a single player action RPG that's like open world like that.
Mm.
So that's my ideal game. So the Fallout series probably comes closest to that. And that's probably why I gravitate towards that as like my favorite game whenever I'm asked, like Fallout New Vegas.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
I don't know
like-
that New Vegas isn't perfect and Fallout 4 isn't enough RPG for me. So there's not exactly my ideal game doesn't really exist, but it's somewhere in that genre.
I'm a
Adam.
like RPG, like single player RPG game guy myself too. Like this, like Sekiro is probably my favorite game, mostly because like I know those From Software games are hard, but the combat mechanics are so good, and in that game in particular, like everything's so quick. So like there's no like, in like
Fallen Order, you're slow.
yeah, in Sekiro, like the second I hit the button to parry, like this dude's parrying. You know what I mean? There's no
Oh,
delay.
the block in that
And I
game
just
is
really-
fantastic too.
Yeah, I just like I like a game where it's like hard, but if like you're only gonna lose if like you fuck up, like you do something stupid. Like if it's like the game is just
there's no
cheap,
delay between input.
Yeah.
And
It's like if there's
output.
like none of the bosses have unblockable moves, none of that bullshit. You can technically get out of anything. You just have to figure it out. And like I like games like that, and then also that have RPG elements because there's progression. Like I really don't like a game where it's like, well, although I do like a lot of like roguelike games where it's like you die and you basically just restart, everything restarts. I don't know if you've played any of those types of games. Like
What's
Dead Cells or anything like
Dead
that.
Cells is my favorite one of those.
They're super fun, but it's
Dead
not even
Cells is
true
cool.
roguelike because you can technically, there's like some permanence there because you can change the game. I think that's a better version of it.
What's
but
that
like,
Greek god one? Hades.
Oh yeah, Hades was a ton of fun. I don't know
Hades
if you
is
played that game.
amazing.
Yeah, so like those are like better versions of like roguelike games, right? Like people are like, oh, they're not true roguelike games, whatever. But it's like the RPG elements to it, right? That just makes any game to me instantly more fun if there's some progression and like some level of customization. And then the fact that like I liked the idea, or whenever I would play Skyrim, like back in the day, I was like, man, I wish you could jump into somebody else's game and like help them out for a mission or two. And they kind of did that with Elden Ring, where there are these like summoning pools where if one of your buddies is playing, you can have him jump into your game and help with a boss fight or like some a fight. They're in various areas. Like you can go through like raid a tomb with them or something.
And they just released an update for PC where you can just infinitely jump into their game, by the way.
What do you mean, like at any point?
At any point, you can just jump in their game and start playing.
Yeah, see, like that's cool.
Amazing.
Like that was one of those things back in the day that I always wished you could do in Skyrim, and that's kind of one of the like I like that they did that with that game.
Speaking of Skyrim,
They
the
look
one
cool
thing, the
online
one
play.
mechanic I always loved from Skyrim was that like the more you used something, the better you got at it. It was very like, oh yes, this
That's
makes
cool.
a lot of sense. I use a lot
Yeah.
of destruction magic, therefore I become better at destruction magic.
Yeah.
It made a lot of
Right.
sense.
That's always weird in like other games, like if other Bethesda games, for an example. Like you could get a bunch of XP through shooting and killing enemies, but then you put it all into lock picking. Like I've never picked any lock, but all of a sudden I've got max level lock picking. It's a little odd,
Yeah.
because I'm a great soldier and mowed down 1,000, rad scorpions. All of a sudden I can pick all the locks in the whole game. It's a little weird.
Yeah, I agree.
Gator Hazel.
I'll chime in. I've been playing video games since Pong. I mean, Atari 2600 was my first console. And I have been able to experience gaming over 45 years. Jeez. Yeah. Star Wars, New Hope, 45 years this last week, right? 45 years I've been gaming. And immersion is everything for me because I've seen the technology in gaming get better and better and more photorealistic and more photorealistic. For me, Destiny is the closest thing for me to photorealism. It's really a good quality game. Problem is, it takes a lot of bandwidth. It takes a lot of memory. The servers have to be enormous to hold all this data and the databases and stuff. I want something like Destiny. I love the space opera. I like the first-person shooter aspect. RPG, action, MMO. I like that kind of stuff. If Destiny can just ramp it up, and I still think they're going to, where you see that skybox and you're like, that is gorgeous. I want to be able to just walk over there. I know it's a ways away, but I want to be able to walk over to that little island over there and just chill out and do whatever I want, and enemies will fly in and stuff. Immersion is everything for me, and photorealism is everything for me. So that would be my perfect video game.
Dude, you're actually kind of not to keep talking about Elden Ring, but that was one of the things that blew my mind about that game. Because like you'll see something that is like seemingly forever away, like a castle in the distance. You're like, oh, that's clearly just a background generated thing. Like, no, if you ride long enough on your horse, you will get to that castle.
I heard it's enormous.
Everything that you can see, you can get to somehow.
Well,
even if it's in the middle of the ocean, there's some cave that leads you under and up. Yeah, it's crazy.
I did buy it. I have it on PC. My son just got a gaming PC, and he's finishing up another game right now. But we do plan on co-op. Excuse me, we do plan on co-oping it. So
yeah, I think that would actually probably be a ton of fun to co-op because I've only done like one or two like bosses with another person, and it is fun when you do play with someone else. But
see, I grew
just
up on the
be
big
prepared.
bosses.
Okay,
You hacked and slashed the boss, and he killed you. And you're like, okay, that didn't work. Let's go back to the drawing board and try it again. That's the way I was raised on video games.
Yeah,
and now today it seems like everyone wants to give you the loot too quickly.
Yeah, I totally see that.
Hazel's gonna jump in on me because I sometimes bitch and moan because I think the loot comes too hard. But
Yeah.
that when I saw Elden Ring, I was like, that reminds me of my old days where we had boss fights and just fight for an hour to kill a boss. And when you kill them, you're like, woo, I got to go take a break.
Yeah,
It was so much fun to do.
Yes. Yeah, it really is. It really is those moments. It's fun. You know what, dude? A game like that is fun to watch someone play too. Like Adam will throw it on and I'll just watch him play. You know, and like it's just like, oh, dude, watch out. You know, it's like it's a lot of that like anticipation and stuff. Dude, we had like a friend group over and they all just watched me like play through a poison castle in Elden Ring. And they were all entertained the whole time.
It's great.
Yeah. But anyway,
is it Randy?
Yes, it's Randy.
Yes.
You know what, Randy? Why I haven't played Elden Ring yet, and I know Marcus knows exactly what I'm going to say here. I played Destiny.
Yeah.
If I go play Elden Ring, this is the kind of games I like. I grab a game and I hang on to it for dear life, and I won't play anything else.
Yeah.
And I love Destiny. I got a podcast about it. I'm afraid that I'll get hooked on it.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, like, let me put it this way, dude. Like, I'm 100 and like level 120 something. I'm also like over 100 hours into the game. I don't even know how that's possible. I don't even know. Like, I've never put over 100 hours into any game in my life.
Hazel,
And,
I have a lot.
Hazel, how many hours we got in Destiny? Destiny 2,
Thousands.
Dude,
I got 3,000
there's
hours
a lot
in
of
Destiny
times.
2.
There's a lot of times where I don't even pick up I don't even pick up the controller because I know it's going to be like a multiple hour thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want to check something for like 5 minutes.
Dude, it's the famous last
Never.
words. He literally did it. He did it yesterday, and I put on a timer just to see how long let me check something was. 58 minutes.
Yeah.
58 minutes was let me check something.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
I was
let me
just
go
checking
talk
my inventory.
To this, yeah. Let me go talk to this mystical turtle thing.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. An hour went by.
Yeah.
That's gaming, man. I love it.
Hazel,
Yeah.
how about you?
Quick answer to this is basically just that I mean, I don't really know what my ideal game is, but I know what my ideal game mode is. And
Okay.
it's going to make Gator cringe.
I know what he's going to say.
So my thing is I want the world to burn. I want there to be consequence.
Consequences.
So
Okay.
like if I'm playing Destiny or whatever it is, if I die, I want to lose all my shit. I want to start
So
over.
you need to play Ultima Online.
Kind of just sounds
Or
like
Dark
you need
Souls.
to play Elden Ring, dude.
Well, I know,
Yeah, right? Or any of the Souls games.
Well, I know, but no, I'm just talking about like, I mean, I want to see more of those like the Souls-like type things.
Where your
like,
decisions aren't
other
fickle.
games.
Right.
Right.
My decisions are fickle.
Yeah.
No, where you don't really are too worried about the decision because you can just start over with all your stuff.
Well, yeah,
You
exactly.
have
lose
consequences
nothing. You lose nothing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm adding to your point. I'm
Yeah,
saying
I know.
where your decisions aren't fickle, like, well, let's try it and see what happens. No, you lose all your stuff. You're going to think really long and hard about that decision.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the pieces of why I like RPGs a lot, or like why I like certain types. So
Yeah.
you were saying, Gator, earlier, you're super into immersion. And that's definitely a big piece for me. I really enjoyed the Middle Earth series of games, Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War,
Yeah, those are
because
great
there's a
games.
giant lore background. But also there's real consequences to like what you do in the game through their nemesis system.
That's
so if
it.
like you happen to accidentally die because you weren't paying attention to a random orc, well, that orc just became a captain, and now he's going to talk shit about you every time you see him again.
Teabag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
And
games
it's-
were
and
really
it's
good
like-
at that, actually.
They were.
Yeah, and it's really cool. And then if he kills you again, guess what? He's a war chief now. He's running the whole army. And same thing. Now he's harder to kill. And now because he killed you, he's got XYZ special traits. So my point being, one of the reasons I did not like Fallout 4 nearly as much as some of its predecessors, particularly New Vegas, is the RPG elements, like the dialogue trees, did not have nearly as many consequences. So like you could, if you pick an option, you pick the be an asshole option versus the be a nice guy option versus the ask a question option. They all lead to the same endpoint in the dialogue tree in Fallout 4 versus other dialogue trees. You could get totally different story outcomes depending on how you engage a conversation. Do you pass your speech check? Do you not? Do you try to go through things diplomatically? You get one option. If you try to fight the guy right away, you get a totally different story outcome. and those decisions matter. So like having, well, I know you're saying, Hazel, like gameplay wise, you want consequences, but like consequences in your story are really important to me too.
Oh yeah, I mean that'd be huge,
Yeah,
I mean, like in Destiny 1 at the end of the life cycle for it, well, I say that, but it's still going on. But before a lot of people came to Destiny 2, people were doing like a Destiny 1 Nuzlocke run where they were saying, I'm going to go through, I'm going to pick, whatever my first weapon is I get, I'm going to use that. And then if they like, when they got to another area, they would use that one instead of the other one, and then they would delete that. And if they died, then they lost all of their stuff and they had to start all over.
Oh, wow.
They
Nick, you reminded me, deleted the character. Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It was a big thing at the end of Destiny.
That's hard. Now that's hardcore. Nick, your talk about consequences kind of reminded me of Knights of the Old Republic.
Exactly. BioWare is famous for that.
Yeah. And I'm actually, are you guys hyped for the remake? I mean, I think all they're doing is just updating graphics, right? But
no, it's a complete new game.
Yeah, it's a new game.
It's 100% a brand new game.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. So they basically, yep. So so there was a guy about 10 years ago that was remaking the game in updated graphics. Disney hired him, or Lucasfilm hired him, or whoever hired him. And now that guy is leading this project to remake the entire game. The entire game is brand new.
Oh, wow. Do you know what engine they're using? Are they using Unreal Engine 5? Or
I think they're using Unreal. I don't know if it's 4 or 5, but it's a brand new game.
Wow.
Completely brand new. I'm guessing that it's not going to have 2 endings.
Okay.
Because
which sucks. But that's
because it's going to have to end canon. Or they're going to have 2 and one will be the canon ending and one won't be.
See, that's so silly. I do miss the days when not everything had to be fucking canon. They could just do whatever they wanted in like a wonderful Star Wars playbox,
Like look at what's that? There's multiple games. Star Killer is the character.
Force Unleashed.
Yeah,
Force Unleashed games. None of that's canon, but that was awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun.
So
first one anyway.
With my favorite game, or the game I want.
Yeah, your ideal game.
So I've realized in my age that I am an MMO player, first and foremost.
MMOs.
But I love a first-person shooter. So what I really, really, really want is an MMO in the Star Wars universe in first person. And like Destiny does, is if you're going to use a sword or a lightsaber, in this case, it goes to third person.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I don't believe that a bounty hunter MMO would work, because too many people would want a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to be a bounty hunter or an Imperial agent or a smuggler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to want to be a Jedi. Just like when Star Wars Galaxies came out, there were no Jedi, but they had to add it in because people wanted it, and they made it so hard that legit it could take you 6 months to become a Jedi, to find and resource all the materials and stuff. So for me, it's straight up MMO Star Wars first person shooter.
That's awesome.
Shooter third person.
Cool. Have you ever played Republic Commando?
Yes. It's really good.
That back recently, honestly.
I was actually about to ask, because you mentioned like not a lot of people want to just play as like a bounty hunter, but did you guys ever play the bounty hunter game? It was just called Bounty Hunter. You played as Jango Fett.
No.
It was okay. So for its time, it was pretty sick. It was on GameCube and PlayStation 2, but you just run around as Jango Fett, and you essentially just like you just go through a bunch of random missions that aren't canon at all, but it's just like following him through.
Yeah, you're getting the bounties.
Yeah. I've wondered, since they've released Mandalorian, if they're going to do a very similar style game but modernized and open world like Mandalorian or something.
They are.
Yes. It's in the works. Ubisoft's making it.
Oh,
yeah,
Ubisoft's making it?
The Division team, the people who made the Division, are making a Star Wars open world game.
Assassin's Creed 35, Boba Fett.
Pretty much, yeah. Or Din Djarin. Yeah.
So, next question is from Roth. Thanks for the question. Is there a type of video game mission that you can remember that you love or hate?
like do you feel strongly about? I guess I can definitely go first.
Yeah, try going
ahead.
first. I'm
I
trying to think.
Fucking
Gotta
hate
think.
escort missions.
Oh,
If you're playing an
yeah.
action, a single like an action shooting game, and you go from like guns blazing, Duke Nukem, Doom, whatever, pick your favorite, Doom style shooting everything, and all of a sudden you gotta protect this one thing. You gotta protect the little lamb or whatever while you go through the
Yeah,
the
this is a good
hellish
example,
chaos.
actually.
It's fucking terrible. Like, and I guess I should broaden this to like any mission that's like the complete opposite of what the rest of the game style is.
Dude, you know what
Like, if
that
you're
just
in a-
reminded me
if you're-
of, man? In Fable 3, there is a mission. They were obsessed with this whole, like, you can touch the other NPCs now. And there was a whole
Okay.
fucking dumbass mission where you had to hold this blind man's hand and walk him through a dark
Oh my
cave
god, yeah.
while people are, like, trying to attack you. And it's like, I don't know what happened to their developers, but they just really missed the mark on that one. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what you're describing.
Yeah, so like I think there's I don't remember if it was Call of Duty, but or Medal of Honor or some like shooter game from way back in the day, where like you have missions where you're going through, you're the superhero shooting everything, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you got to escort Sergeant Johnson that got shot. You have to go over and pick him up.
Oh my god,
like,
yeah.
When you pick him up, I think it was actually Modern Warfare, the first one from way back when. You have to like escort Captain Price out of there or whatever, the guy that's with you. You have to like pick him up, and you can't shoot while you're carrying him.
And it's
And then
slow
you
as
have to
hell.
put him down and shoot, and then you have to pick him up again. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Just keep make the original intent of the game
Right.
the same, and then do creative things in that box.
Yeah,
But-
that reminds
See-
me of Eco, that game by the guys that did Shadows of the Colossus.
okay.
Yeah. Basically,
I
that's-
just downloaded that.
Oh, it's fantastic. But you have to. It's basically one big escort mission.
Okay.
Sounds like a
okay.
great game for you.
Jeez.
But
Yeah, check it out, Nick.
So for me,
I'm gonna pass.
and I'm gonna say it because it drives me crazy. As much as I love an open world game,
oh, I know. what you're
I know what
questing
you're gonna say.
in Star Wars: The Old Republic is the worst fucking thing on the planet.
See, this is not what I thought you were gonna say.
The
I'll circle back. Go ahead.
you land on this. I'll use Alderaan, and you have to go to point A to point B. Walking or driving your little cart around the planet is fucking like nails on the chalkboard for me. And it's just like, oh my fucking God. Like I have to drive 40 miles to get to this. And yes, it's vast. The planet's beautiful. But for me, it's like, I just want to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think aimless questing drives me fucking bonkers.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna
feel
say like,
hey,
go fetch
can you
me
go
this.
pick up a bundle of sticks?
Yeah, that's
sure. Bring it back
Yeah.
to Steve. Hey, Steve, I got some bundle of sticks. I'm really sorry, Marcus. I forgot to ask you to get matches. Think you could go get those? Sure, dude. Come back. Hey, dude, this fire's out of control. Can you go get some water? We got to put it out. What the fuck? I just back and forth 9 times.
how
you know
have
what I
you
mean?
lived?
Yeah.
And like
Right.
It's like this is
Yeah,
that
exactly.
So
So-
already.
the problem I had with
aimless
Mandalorian
questing.
episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
yeah.
Yep.
Some of the
Especially
middle
playing
ones is
through
just
that.
like
Yes, exactly.
it's like, you need a part for your ship. Well, you got to go get these bundle of sticks for me first, and then I'll fix it for you.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
looks like you didn't
what
need
the
the
fuck?
part to begin with. Anyways, have fun.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, actually, I'm wearing a Baby Yoda shirt right now. Look at that.
Had
He's
a
chilling
Baby
in my
Yoda
pocket.
pop socket on my phone.
So what about you guys?
I'll go with something positive here. I think because the question isn't the question's like gaming moments that you either really like or really hate.
No,
right?
mission.
Oh, mission.
A type of video game mission that you either love or hate.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say a split screen collaborative boss fight. So like if you're playing, and I know split screen games aren't super common these days, but
you love
back-
or hate?
love.
Okay.
I really, really enjoy split screen games. I really hope they make a comeback. I really think it's a missed opportunity to not have them. Just because like some of the most fun that you can have playing video games is having a buddy over and playing something on the same screen. And even if it has that frustration of like, oh, I can't see, or like, wait a minute, where are you? Like, oh, like all that's kind of like part of it. And I think like working on that boss together and getting to the end and beating him, and you both turn to each other and go, woohoo! You give a little high five. There's that to me is probably the best that gaming can get in terms of that feeling that you get of accomplishment.
I feel like you get something similar with like a raid of some kind, like group content that you guys enjoy.
Yeah, that's why I like MMOs
Yes,
so
when you
much.
in Star Wars: The Old Republic, you could fight a boss with your raid team for 4 months, and when you win, that emotion is insanity.
Yeah.
It's pure, just a happy joy, like it's fucking done. But all right, what about you guys?
I would say QuickTime events. I like those, because Resident Evil 4, they're remaking it. It's going to be coming out on PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
And I mean, Resident Evil 4 for me was like when it first came out, I played that. It was the reason why I even bought a GameCube, just for that. And then I quit gaming after that for like 6 months, just because it was so just like everything was a QuickTime event. So I was just like so cathartic, and I was just like drained of everything. I'm like, all right, I need a break. So
That's cool. Is that the one that like the special edition came with like a chainsaw controller or something?
I think so, yeah.
I think it was like an orange crazy controller. I think it was a chainsaw.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're remaking that in Unreal Engine 5, which if you guys don't follow Unreal on Instagram, it's a good follow because they have a lot of really cool posts and stuff. Yeah, demos. That's and cool. Just like dude, they had a picture post that you could swipe through. Some of them I was like, that's just a train station. That's not.
That's a video.
That doesn't look that.
Hazel showed me that one.
Yeah,
you showed me that clip, Hazel.
Yeah, it's it's.
I thought it was a video.
Quite literally, I guess.
I didn't know it was a game. I couldn't believe it.
What about you, Gator? Adam?
I would say I definitely love like dungeon raids. Like if you're playing some MMO type game, I just like the idea of like everybody has a specific skill and kind of just like working as a team, so long as people play their roles. There's only one thing that I can really think of that was like that I hated, and it's just for whatever reason, I don't know why this came to mind, but like this was like an old game. I think it was DBZ Budokai 1. It's like a fighting game. And like there was this mission where you were like you're Goku and you have to hold Raditz while Piccolo charges.
Oh my god, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, I destroyed the analog sticks on my controller because I did that thing so many times, and the skin on my hand was like completely gone.
Oh
you just sit there and like rotate the thing and like line it up perfectly. And I just remember that. So me and my brother played that for hours and hours because it was fucking impossible. And
I played that in college when you lived on my floor.
Oh, really? Dude, it's like the old school. It was literally like the first one. And I think that was the first game I ever owned on like PS2 or something.
Yes, for PlayStation 2.
And then we finally beat it. And then like we turned it off and we turned it back on. And I'm like, dude, we didn't have any of the data saved because I didn't even know what a memory card was. I didn't know what a memory card was. And I'm like, oh shit, they didn't tell us at the store we needed a memory card. So I had to do it again. So I was like, So anyways, I really hated that mission, but the whole escort thing, that was a good one. That was
I think that might have been one of the best answers so far.
Gator?
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Oh, I'm ready.
December 12th, 2014. Hazel knows exactly what I'm talking about because it's his favorite raid. The very first DLC for Destiny 1 was called The Dark Below, and there was a first raid ever called Crota's End. Imagine 6 guardians standing on top of the moon, dropping into a hole of nothingness. And if you didn't, float or coast down a little bit, you would die. You just hit the ground and just be dead. Once you got down there, it's pitch black. And you have these little things called thralls. Think of like, little mob with claws and stuff on them. And just think of hundreds of them running at you in the dark. And you have to go to these lamps. And when you got to hover around the lamps, you get this layer of darkness on you where you can't run. You're like in molasses. You get to the lamp, and all of a sudden it cleans you of it, and then you can move on to the next lamp. And how many were there, Hazel? I think there were 20 of these lamps. So you had to just maze yourself through the dark to get to the first part of the real raid. And I remember I was always last, and the thralls would engulf me, and I was freaking out. It's the most love-hate relationship with this. It's the first phase of the Crota's End raid. And I always hated doing it because I never could figure out. Everyone had hunters and they had all these speedy setups on, and I was just warlock, just trying to get through this place. I'd always end up in the last part of it, and no one would come back and revive me. They're like, dude, you screwed the pooch. We're out of here. We're on to the next area. And you would sit there and just watch everybody go through it.
That sounds
most memorable. I don't know how many times I've run that raid, but that's the most memorable and most hated part of Destiny I've ever played.
There's a Dead Cells level like that too, actually, where you got to hit these lamps and that.
Oh yeah, I remember that one too. That place sucks.
It's essentially the same concept. Like the screen slowly gets darker and darker, and then everything just almost one hit kills you. So you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah. You guys ever break a controller over a moment in the game?
Yes.
No.
I've thrown one in Call of Duty.
No.
Nick not through wanting to.
Not through.
I've never done that. I've usually been pretty good about it.
Oh,
I've wanted to a whole bunch of times, especially Guitar Hero. I used to be really good at Guitar Hero. I could play on like expert, but like trying to do the Through the Fire and the Flames intro. I remember trying to learn that for like 3 hours in a row. I want to just break the guitar in half.
That was a tough song to do, man.
Yeah, I could.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, in terms of Guitar Hero, I played expert, but I could never do Through the Fire and the Flames. I could beat the game on expert, but I just I couldn't ever get there. And I was like, the time and effort it's going to take to learn how to play this on expert is
this
just
one
not worth
stupid
it.
Song. Yeah. Exactly. And that's what cost me from winning the video game contest that 1 year.
Oh, wow.
That 1 year.
Rock Band was my game, and I played on expert, but there were certain songs you just didn't touch. You just didn't even attempt to do them.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man. Great games.
I snapped a 360 controller in half.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I remember.
I think it was over DBZ.
I was playing a fighter. Yeah, I was playing Fighters.
Yeah, Fighters game. You guys ever play Dragon Ball Fighters Z? It's like it's like a 2D
not a Sega person.
action, like
wicked fun. I was super into it. I'm pretty fucking good at it.
Yeah,
but
he
I
got
just
me
like
into it.
there was like, I don't know what it was, some stupid thing, probably like lag related, and I never smash controllers, but like this kid does.
Yeah,
so
he was hanging out with me. He was hanging out with me too much, dude. Monkey see, monkey do.
Because nothing pisses me off more than nothing pisses me off enough to smash a controller, and like more than the feeling I will have after knowing I have to buy a new controller.
Yeah.
So, but I just said
it's such like a and then
yeah.
Wait,
so I just
how far do you guys go back?
We go back to college. Let me see. I think we became friends sophomore year of college, so that would have been back in 2014. Yeah, 2014, 2015.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mine was a Mass Effect 2 mission that I couldn't win.
Really?
I couldn't beat this
Mass
mission, and I just fucking grabbed it and snapped it in half.
Dude, I almost did it to Elden Ring the other day. I had my brand new wonderful Halo controller, and that the only reason it didn't end up in two pieces is because I looked at it and I was like, my mom gave me this gift, and I was like, so I didn't end up doing it. I was like, calm down. And afterwards, I always feel so silly. I'm like, I can't believe I let that get the fucking best of me. It brought the monkey out. As soon as the monkey comes out, and Adam knows this, I have a problem, dude. I fucking smash shit. It's bad. Like it's like I slam doors. I get more stompy. It's never towards anything living. But like,
thank God they nerfed that.
Yeah.
The most fun ever to watch on YouTube is the streamers who freak out and destroy their mouse and keyboards.
Oh,
it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, God,
just get so frustrated.
Yeah, it's the monkey. When the monkey comes out, dude, you gotta learn to cap it. And as I've gotten at least a little older here, I've been
you need a
punching.
Every gamer needs a punching bag in the corner of their room. They just go run at it head first.
A heavy bag,
like a Nerf controller.
Right.
All right. Quinn wants to know, what's our favorite music genre?
That's easy.
Yeah.
Let me go first.
Go for it.
So it's a subgenre of a subgenre. So it's EDM's the first genre. Then we go house music. Specifically, my favorite music genre, if I had to pick one to listen to all the time, is tech house.
Tech house, dude. That
Boots
is
and
like
Cats and
I
Boots
gotta
and
say that's probably the most impressive like response I've ever heard about favorite music, because that's a really tough question to answer. And the
It
fact that you can go as specific as tech house is like good on you, man. That's tough.
100%.
I'm the same way, but I'll let all of you go first.
I know what Mark's just going to say.
Let me think about it. If someone else has a go-to
I don't
answer.
think I have
Hazel
a favorite
answered for me.
genre, to be honest. I feel like it's very mood based. You know what I mean? Like whatever.
Well, definitely. But like, if you could pick one that like is most of the time,
I mean,
you'd be happy with most of the time or something.
probably like hip hop. You know,
Okay.
probably like I more consistently listen to hip hop ish. Like
All right.
rap.
I would say like for me it like the music that resonates with me the most is melancholy, meaning the lyrics are usually sad, or the context of the song is sad, but it's in a major or it is a happy sounding song.
Coffee
So
house?
it's like it's written like, what'd you say?
You like coffee house type music, like acoustic?
I do like that kind of stuff, but like stuff that where like what's a really like pop punk usually does this really well. Some modern rap has done this really well. Like Post Malone has done this really
Mhm.
well. Like if
Yeah,
you
that's
listen
great.
to like if you listen to Rich and Sad by Post Malone, like that's kind of what I'm talking about, where like the music itself is in a happy key, usually a major key, but the lyrics themselves
Yeah.
are actually pretty sad. For whatever reason, that usually hits me to heart. If I'm working out, like because I work out a ton, it's like going to be hard hitting metal music for the most part.
Gotcha.
I guess it's hard, so hard to say. Like,
I listen like R&B when I work out.
Depends on your mood.
yeah, the mood,
Really?
the mood's the biggest. The mood's the biggest thing, right? But yeah, usually it's usually that sort of combo. of stuff.
My genre's all over the place. I mean, I like jeez. Hazel loves it when I say this. I like Missio. I like really heavy progressive rock. Like
Nice.
a lot of Swedish metal bands. They make there's some really good artists out there with beautiful voices.
Yeah,
Just anybody who follows like Pink Floyd-esque type music, very heavy, strong music. That's usually what I tend to go to. But
Nice.
Missio and groups, they're similar to like that type of music. It's like alt rock, pop, alt rock. I don't like pop music, but anything with a heavy theme or a heavy, serious, I don't know, serious beat. And I like Post Malone, by the way. I like his new album too.
oh,
come out
nice.
with.
Look at that. Sweet.
I have a very eclectic taste, but I always know to listen to stuff that's up and coming because I got 20 somethings. So
Yeah.
I hear their
Malone-
music.
Post Malone surprised me when I heard him live, because this, he's not a good looking dude, no offense to the guy. I love the guy. He's
No.
great. He's whatever. But like when I saw him get up on stage, I was like, oh, who's this guy? And it was for Hilarity for Charity that Seth Rogen puts on.
Yeah, remember
And
that.
he did a guest spot at the end of one of his things, I think back in 2018 or 2017.
Yeah.
And I heard him sing and I was like, holy freaking hell, this guy can sing.
Yeah.
Like he is really talented. And pretty much from then
Yeah.
on, I was like, oh, this guy's great.
I mean, top
Mhm.
bands we're talking like Depeche Mode, Foo Fighters, which have both lost people in their bands recently. It sucks.
Yeah,
I
which
know.
is crazy.
Yeah.
But
They're
it's
so
weird. It's
young.
wide ranging. I always go prog rock, and Hazel just rolls his eyes. I lose him as soon as I say
Like prog rock as in like
Well,
like intervals.
intervals type thing.
Yeah, I think of like intervals or like Polyphia.
Oh,
like
I
stuff
like
like
love
that.
Polyphia. I love their music.
Periphery.
I don't like the
Yeah.
new neck tattoo a guy's gotten, but hey, they're getting older. They're trying to express themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love instrumental too. Yeah,
Tim
like it
Henson's
all.
Nasty. Oh, we lost him. Oh, he's back.
There he is.
Oh, there he
And there's Hazel.
is.
See,
So,
I told
all right,
you. I
so
say prog
Hazel,
rock.
what is
he's out.
yours?
Yep,
He heard prog rock. He's like, he signed out.
He's out.
Pretty much like everybody else has said. I mean, it depends on my mood. If I'm working out, it's like something hardcore rock music. But for the most part, it's maybe like alt rock, something like that. Hip hop for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So, me, it's very simple. Electronic music, it's drum and bass.
Nice.
Oh,
I knew it.
Female vocal drum and bass
That's good.
is just the greatest fucking music ever. It's upbeat. I'm high energy all the time. I don't care. I can go to sleep to it. I can wake up and do my shit. I love 90s punk rock. Love it. Like I'm
You a skateboarder?
going in some. Yeah, I was.
Okay.
I was actually a pro-am skateboarder a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Look at you.
Wow.
Like, when I've hit my nuts, yes, on a few handrails before, and that
That was a
shit
follow-up question.
sucks.
Yeah, that was.
Yes.
Do you have any knees left?
That
That's
shit
the
sucks.
question.
And the worst was I was in Chicago for a mini ramp contest, and they were like, "You're gonna put on your helmet," and I was like, "No, I don't need it. I'll be fine." And I smashed my head so hard that after that, like I couldn't ride a skateboard anymore. It's scary.
Oh my God.
But like I still have my last skateboard, and like I love the bet because I'll bet somebody. I'll be like, "I'll bet you $100." Now I'm a fat fuck, right? But like, I'll bet somebody $100. I bet I can do a kickflip in 3 tries, and they're like, "Fuck you, $100." And I do it, and they're like, "How the fuck does that even happen?" It's like riding a bike, right?
Dude,
And
I
I'm
would
"How
like
did
to see
happen?"
that. What the fuck?
Mommy
Yeah,
never
so
take that.
Yeah, $100.
yeah, $100. But anyway, so it's but yeah, female vocal drum and bass for me.
Yeah.
But I do love punk rock.
Hell yeah.
All right, I gotta ask because it's been back here this whole time. Nick pissed his pants.
Oh
Not
yeah.
quite.
Oh
Nick
man.
didn't piss. Okay, Nick
Oh,
didn't
this
piss
is great.
his pants. All
This
right.
is great.
So okay, so for
No. You're not allowed to tell the no. You're not allowed to tell the story.
So no, I'm just giving a setup. So I get
set the stage.
Junior year of college, Adam and I lived together in a quad, which is a fucking terrible setup in hindsight. With me, him, and 2 other dudes. But obviously we drank a shitload. And apparently what happened is sometimes when I would be blackout drunk, I'd wake up in the middle of the night and be sleepwalking. Usually it was prompted when I had to pee.
Dang.
Which leads to me having to pee, wandering around and being completely nonsensical about it because I'm fucking sleepwalking, which leads to some ridiculousness that my roommates would observe. And Adam can finish the story for me.
Yeah. And so basically like that happened and I was just like sleeping and my bed was kind of like one of the sides of my bed is facing the wall and the other is just kind of open to the room. And then like Nick's bed is across the room. And like, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm just kind of, facing the wall, just trying to sleep. And I hear like moaning and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And like, it sounds like Nick and he's like, and I turn around and he's just, he's got his hand on like the headboard of my bed and he's just like looking down under my bed and my bed's like kind of lofted. And he's just pissing all over my text, like a stack of my textbooks under my bed. And I was like, Nick, like, he's just like looking down, like, and I'm like, Nick, dude, like, Nick, what the fuck are you doing?
No way.
He's like, just go back to bed. Just go back to bed. I'm like, dude, you're pissing on my shit. And he woke up, and also, like, he was like butt naked. And like, and then he woke up and was like freaked out and like ran to the bathroom. And there was like a stack of textbooks under my bed, and he just pissed on it.
Oh
and
man!
Like, I think that was the last time. Yeah, it was just so fucking funny because I heard the sounds and I was like, what's going on? And I turn around and he's just right in my face. I'm like, oh my God. And he's like butt ass naked. And I'm like, dude. And I woke up our other roommate who was asleep. And like, I woke him up. I was like, well, because Nick was like sleepwalking. He didn't know what the hell was going on. He was trying to tell me to go back to bed. I was like, dude, I'm not just going to go back to sleep. Like,
yeah. Imagine you were just like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Just letting you know, Hazel.
Continue being.
Hazel has a real bad thunderstorm. He just lost power. That's why he dropped out.
Oh, okay.
Man, okay.
That sucks.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I think there was another occasion where like my default mode would be like, oh, sleepwalking, pee into any receptacle. And I peed in my like laundry bin one time too.
Yeah, you did.
Dude, has that
how you
happened
get
a
up in
couple
the middle
times?
of the night, pee in your laundry bin, get back into bed? I was like, okay.
Dude, so like I gotta know though, like now that you're like a full grown adult and shit, like has that happened? Like has this sleepwalking thing plagued you in any other way?
No, because I don't usually get that fucking drunk anymore.
Okay, so it's tied
Frankly.
to the drinking then.
Yeah, it has to be like legitimately blackout drunk. Because usually if I'm going for a drink somewhere, I'm driving somewhere, and I'm never going to get anywhere near that drunk if I'm driving somewhere.
Right.
So it'd have to be. So now it's like a really rare occasion that like I'm like going somewhere and drinking and then like walking back. I will say it has happened. So there was. So when I lived in Ludlow recently, and Ludlow is a giant Portuguese population. They have this big Portuguese festival called Festa, or probably Festa. I don't know how you pronounce it in Portuguese, but anyways, it was literally like our backyard essentially. So it was this giant festival, almost like if you've ever been to the Big E, imagine the Big E, but a little bit smaller and all Portuguese themed.
Yeah, we used to play them in soccer, dude. That they were nasty because they were all Portuguese.
Yeah, of course,
like 27,
right?
And it's supposedly
exactly.
I am 12.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That was
exactly. So they it was like a football field from my apartment in Ludlow, and my roommate was Portuguese. But anyways, so we were there drinking, blah blah blah, and one night I'm like, fuck it, I don't just went hard in the paint because I'm walking home. Who cares? Like college, you could just walk home from the bar. So and that night, I think I did pee in my trash can. Same thing.
Nice,
Sleepwalking.
dude.
Yeah.
What
no
a funny
idea what was happening.
dude. What a funny pattern. Like
It's
you
weird.
just get Nick drunk and like a blackout drunk, and your brain's just like pee time.
Pee time up for closest receptacle.
Yeah, close.
Like,
Do you at least feel around to see if it's round or anything, or no?
I have no idea.
You just sense
Dude,
it.
I'm
he's
completely
He uses the force.
unconsciously doing this. Yeah. I think
I'm one with the force. The force is with
There
me.
you
Yeah.
go.
Just pissing into like a fucking
Oh my
bottle.
God.
yeah.
That's great.
So hey, as we're wrapping things up, let us know where we can find you guys.
You guys want to go?
Yeah, sure. On Instagram at BoneAppleTV. It's 3 words. It's just Bone, BONE, Apple, APPLE, TTEA, and then V at the end. And I mean, anywhere you can listen to podcasts, really, Spotify, YouTube.
Yeah. If you type in Bone
Apple
Apple Tea podcast on YouTube, we'll be the first to pop up. We got the little logo there going, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
Oh, I guess
Gator, how about
should
you
we
guys?
do
Go ahead.
like personal Instagrams? I wouldn't mind that. Sure thing, man. On
Yeah,
Instagram.
Sure.
At
thing, man.
Adam
Nice.
Bora.
Yeah.
BOURA.
Got it.
Yeah.
We are Guardian Downcast, a Destiny podcast. We're a couple of gamer dads that have played Destiny since day one of 2014 when it released. And we're just as passionate about it today as we were back then. And we share stories of Destiny content creators and community members. We also discuss key topics and news within the game and the community. And we have a very vibrant community. We love everyone in our community. And you can find us everywhere. Just go to guardiandowncast.com. All our links are right there and there. And yeah, that's us. I'm Gator. I'm the optimist, and Hazel is the realist of Destiny.
Thanks so much for listening to Bone Apple Tea. If you like the show, please give us a follow, like, comment, subscribe, whatever it is. Tell your friends about it. And oh yeah, make sure to follow us on Instagram. That's Bone Apple TV, BoneAppleTeaV on Instagram. Thanks so much.